Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise.
I have a real soft spot for evil.
Blood flying everywhere.
So good.
I'm a big boy who doesn't get scared.
Out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod.
Sup, Chuddle Club members. Welcome to an episode of Chuddle the Pod, where horror movie lovers have a feel-good time.
Oh, yeah.
We always keep it spoiler-free up top and let you know when the spoilers are about to drop, Brother Pooh.
Hell yeah, Brother Pooh.
Hell yeah, Brother Pooh!
In this episode...
You got it. No, keep on going. Keep on going. You got
We're
it.
gonna Chuddle Jeepers Creepers.
Hell yeah.
Yes. We're here. We're doing a meeting. It's time for a meeting. A Chuddle Pod Horror Club movie meeting time. I'm my co-host here, Brian.
Huh?
Yeah, he's here. That's his patented.
It's patented.
Ross.
Patented? Oh, hey.
He's here too. He likes to say "oh hey," and he does it that special way.
We got the giggle bubbles tonight, huh, guys?
You do.
It's happening. And so you know why it's happening? It's because we have a very special guest, our first guest ever, returning guest. The boy with the toy, the man with the noise, the guy who does the thing, the witch doctor of doom who makes it go boom. Welcome our good friend, Travis Maxel Boone.
Yeah, cuh.
Good job. Welcome to the show, the Nightclub Podcast.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for
that intro
having me.
got me jeepers all over my creepers.
Good job.
My head's splitting open and my membranes are showing.
Thanks for coming on. It's been too long since we've had you on here. I was just on the Nightclub around. They'll be out around the same time, I'm sure, for Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
That was a lot of fun. So definitely
yeah.
check that out. Nightclub Podcast is where all the podcasts are found. Most of the socials as well. Isn't that right, T-Boo?
Yeah, we're all over the place. We're on the Instagrams and the slashers and the Facebook for some reason still. I have no idea why I keep posting there because no one gives a fuck on Facebook. And I don't care either, but it's
That's what you have as a banner above your Facebook page. Nobody gives a fuck about Facebook.
I should change it to that. But yeah, we're on the socials everywhere you find podcasts, Spotify, Apple. I'm glad to be back chuddling with you motherfuckers. It's been a minute. So it's awesome to see y'all again, talk to y'all. I've been missing you boys.
Because we've been missing you too.
Nightclub has a Discord just like we have a Discord. Hop in both. Many members cross-pollinate, if you will.
It's actually very true.
Now, before we continue and have this meeting, I want to take this moment to thank our coven of patrons. Your sacrifice gives us life, and we thank your beautiful souls. We love our patrons. We do a lot of fun stuff for them, extra episodes. We just did a Chuddle Battle where we take villains from movies we've covered and pit them against each other in a fight.
To the death.
To the death.
And as a patron, that's one of my favorite segments or episodes, being a patron. I love the Chuddle battles. I'm a nerd like that. I like pitting different folks and seeing how they duke it out. And I love y'all's spin that y'all put on it and the way that y'all go about it. So just letting the listeners know.
Oh,
jump
you're
on
going to
that
love
shit.
the next one.
Well, with all club members present and accounted for.
Well, hold on. We have an announcement.
Oh, that's right.
We can't forget, Sam was just speaking upon our patrons, and we have a new coven member and witch name to announce. And this one has been brewing, so we would very much like to welcome into the coven Colby Moldy Puddin' Pie, the monster witch that cannot die. Thank you so much for joining up. That one is, I love it. And
that's a great name.
That's
right?
a good one.
That's fantastic, right?
Say it one more time, please.
Colby Moldy Puddin' Pie, the monster witch that cannot die.
I like the pudding pie. That's my favorite part.
Oh, that's my favorite.
It is, yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. So
amazing.
Thank you so much for joining the coven. We appreciate it. And as Sam said we have all those benefits, but that's just one of them. We'll come up with a fun little name for you. You get a witch name, and you are part of us. So there you go, Sam.
Thank you for remembering that.
No
now, with all club
poop.
members present and the coven avowed, it's time to crack open the goo book and officially begin tonight's meeting.
Give me that goo. Oh, yeah.
Starting with that little sentence on IMDb just below the poster, we have a brother and sister driving home through isolated countryside for spring break encounter a flesh-eating creature which is in the midst of its ritualistic eating spree.
Ooh, eaty.
Which is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
He's running around Florida having himself a bunch of McCreeper burgers.
Right.
And it's certainly intriguing. I'm like, ritualistic eating spree? Well, I've never heard of that.
I've heard of. I ain't never seen that on the TV.
Oh, I never thought about that until you just said that.
Mm-hmm.
That's that, and the fact that it uses fear. Okay, all right, that's wow.
There you go. So, speaking of fear, we're gonna jump over to toe taglines. Bunch of them for this one, and I'm doing them all.
Oh boy.
Starts. Fear takes a road trip.
Okay,
like
cool.
that.
Okay, that works. Mm-hmm. They were alone in the middle of nowhere. It's watching. It's waiting. It's hungry.
It's hungry.
It's hungry.
It's hungry.
Oh,
It's hungry.
Yeah, fine.
That was okay. I give it like a C+. That one wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like this one. This fall, things are getting creepy.
Ooh, that's a solid. That's like a C minus. That is a C minus. Someone's like, fuck, I forgot to write my assignment.
Oh my god, that's a Disney movie airing on ABC. Like this fall, things are getting creepy. It's the Halloween Disney movie that fall.
Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
7 Central, 8 Eastern.
On this road in the middle of nowhere, evil has found the perfect place to hide. It has a face, it has a home, and worst of all, it has a plan.
I don't like that.
Use that for fucking 100 other movies. You know what I mean? Like, that's so broad.
Yes.
I'm giving it a D.
It lives. It may not live. It lives in a place that may not be a place. It attacks people, or does it? It's like
Bad man kill.
I think it's wordy.
It's very wordy. And the end of, and worst of all, it has a plan. I don't know. I'm not down with it.
No.
You'll never close your eyes again.
Black.
like ever again?
That's the worst one.
That's like a classic one sounding to me. You know what I mean? That sounds like something on a 70s movie poster.
Oh, and maybe, now that you say that, but maybe also tied in with what happens in the movie.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It's meant to play with what happened with what the movie's about. But yeah, I think it's kind of bleh.
All right, grade this one. What's eating you?
I like that. I like that
one. That one I kind of enjoy.
See, I'm looking at it right now, and it looks like some of it's capitalized in weird ways.
I can't tell if that's a mistake or not. Because
if it's meant to be like a weird license plate, I'd like it even more, and I give it an A.
Oh,
nice.
Oh, I like that.
I guess we'd have to see the actual poster because the way it is on here, I'm like, it's not like that spells anything. If it were a license plate, though, it'd be like Addy.
I don't know if they're, but still, if there was something fun and creative there, maybe. Or it's a spelling mistake.
Evil is right behind you.
Oh shit.
Not bad. I mean, it's scary. If somebody said that to me, I'd be like, oh, exactly. Just like Ross.
Oh fuck.
Sam, evil is right behind you.
You.
Evil.
Sam. Can I make up my own?
Go for it.
Go for it.
If you've got the Jeepers, here comes the Creepers. I guess. I don't know.
That's it. All right,
Thank you.
That's better than 80% of the ones they actually use for it.
We'll workshop it.
Okay.
A nightmare cloaked in rags.
I mean, it was better than this one.
Sounds like he's poor.
He's a poor creeper. That boy's on the poverty line. He's getting the fucking soup and the piece of bread.
And I don't have fleas. He's a riffraff street rat is what he is. The tastiest horror film of the year. That's fun.
That was
is
fun.
You can tell
It's
that's like a
cute.
DVD release or something.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Get a taste. Oh, this one definitely is. Get a taste of the year's best horror film.
That's definitely on the DVD.
Absolutely.
You are not what you eat. Which
But I think, but that
you
I
are
think it
what
should
you
be.
What you eat.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what it should,
the
yeah.
actual saying should be what it is.
That's
Exactly.
the opposites. They fucking up on that one.
Yeah.
He's watching, he's waiting, he's hungry.
That's kind of similar to the first one you said.
Yeah. And then once
Or the
again,
second one.
I like this one. Things are gonna get creepy.
Yeah.
Nice.
To the point. It's to the point.
Solid.
All right. I can buy
All
that.
right, cool. That was a lot of taglines. Damn, they went wild for this one.
Movies are made by people, and the people that made this movie are, well,
Gross.
This is when Sam asked me to be here. This was actually, no, take it back a step further. In the Chuddle Discord, when y'all announced that y'all were actually going to cover this movie, this is the part I've been waiting for. So I'm glad I'm here for it. Let's go.
Are we allowed to legally play this movie within 100 yards of a school or a church?
well, this movie was written and directed by Victor Salva. If you don't know what all of our sort of reaction here to talking about this is about, is Victor Salva is a convicted pedophile. He served 15 months for like owning child porn and committing sexual assault on a minor and filming it. And it was for a
Not in
movie
this
he
movie.
made, Clown House. One of the three kids in the movie was who he filmed
Abused.
himself forcing oral sex on. And
You're doing all the deets, Sam. Oh my god.
Get
hey,
it out there.
fuck this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He should be hated.
Yeah.
Let it be known.
Another kid did not press charges. His parents didn't want to get involved, but was also abused. One of the other kids on the movie, and he groomed the kids and the parents for a long time before doing anything.
That's how it goes.
And it was for his first movie, Clown House. 15 months in jail. Doesn't make a movie for 2.5 years. Starts making movies again. Francis Ford Coppola is a big supporter of him. Produced this movie, mentored him. He's quoted as saying, a lot of people bring that up. It's something I'm always going to have to live with, but it was, a mistake or something. Once you get to know me, people see I'm not a bad guy or some fucking bullshit, which I'm sure he doesn't appear.
Wait,
It's easy to appear as a nice guy.
Wait, he did this and
Obviously,
then
he's
made this
fucking
movie?
disgusting. Yes, this was in 1992 when he went to jail.
Oh my god.
It was a much different time when I think information wasn't as readily available about. So
Correct.
it was never on my radar as.
But people knew this
thing.
because he wrote and directed
Right?
Powder, which came out before this. If you guys remember
Right.
the movie
Yeah.
Powder,
Yeah.
Powder,
and one of the
yeah.
kids from the movie Clown House organized a protest to boycott its release.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Which I
Goddamn.
didn't know till now.
Right. And that's right at that age. So Powder came out in 95, so I would have been 10 years old. So I remember the movie
I
of
had no
Powder, but I
idea.
wouldn't.
I remember Powder. I wanted to see Powder. I did see Powder.
I did, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember thinking I was
got-
cool for seeing Powder
It's
for
got
some reason.
that's Sean Patrick Flannery, right?
It very well could be.
I
But
believe it is.
but I had no idea about his Victor Salva, anything about him. And even with
No.
Jeepers Creepers geez, I can't remember when it was the point where I actually knew of
I didn't
things.
know till we started doing this podcast.
I
had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, the podcast in general, or you mean this episode?
The podcast in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense, because then you're pulled back into the horror world. Like, it really, I don't know who much knows of it outside of people that are that in tune to like what he would do, like his movies or anything like that.
I found out about Victor Salva after seeing Jeepers Creepers 2 in theaters, like some years after. And there's always the separation of the artist and the art. That's always the thing that you got to do, or you that's
Try
it,
to do.
like right. And when it comes to people like Michael Jackson, for me, he was never proven guilty. So I'm like, all right. And he even fought it in court. So I'm still gonna fucking jam to Thriller and stuff and beat it and all that. But Kevin Spacey, I enjoy his performances. I am shady with that guy though. I'm like, dude, this dude is convicted. And but here's the thing, Ross, that fucks with me watching this movie this time. Why did certain people agree to work with this guy after? And they fucking knew. Like Justin Long knew, Gina Phillips knew. Why? And everybody else knew. Why would you agree to work with this guy? And that's the problem I'm having with it. And like, I watched it, and we're gonna do the thing.
I have less problem with the actors as I do with like people deciding, like Francis Ford Coppola, and people deciding to support this guy to help him make more movies.
Well, I think it gets really, and I agree to a certain point of like separating the artist from the art. But it's like with movies, it's so much more convoluted because there's so many cast and crew working on
it's made
this.
by so many people. One guy.
There's so many people that are involved in the movies, shy of the shy of the director. That like, I don't know.
Well, that was always the leeway I gave it after knowing. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, but y'all knew though. So why? And Francis Ford Coppola, to quote him, said the age gap wasn't that different. It was a 29-year-old and a 12-year-old, cousin. Like, it's very different.
That's very different.
And
So
Rose McGowan came out and said, that's none of my business. What are you talking about? It's none of, so this last watch, and after reading that stuff, because I know, Sam, you just did the deep dive. You did a deeper dive than I did. I didn't know what that's wow.
I just read things, and actually I want to shout out real quick because unfortunately it wasn't until I was doing research today that I found this even exists. But Dread Central did a podcast, Jeepers Creepers Unseen, that's a 4-part podcast exploring the franchise's controversial past and talking to fans and people involved and just different things. So if you're interested in more about this, a 4-part deep dive by Dread Central sounds like probably a good place to go for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I could not find a single quote from any of the actors about Victor Salva. Like,
me neither.
Googling them all.
Yeah, me neither. And I tried. I was like, Justin Long, my bae.
I know Justin Long was 22, and it was his first leading role.
Yeah.
Gina Phillips was 30. I don't know. It didn't say. Give me like a note about it being her first leading role.
Mm-hmm.
I won't harp on it like a lot. That was the question that I was battling with today. Whenever I watched this movie, was like, why would y'all work with this man?
Same. And I thought potentially there was a chance that they didn't know, again, because maybe this type of thing just got buried, wasn't around as much. But then when I heard about the protest for Powder, I was like, well, it probably was known. But I think it would have to be a known thing by the people. Yeah, it just seems. But for me, growing up, I watched this movie and the second one. I haven't watched the third or the remake, and I don't plan to. But I did grow up watching the first two, and I guess there is some weird mental leap I can take where I'm not opposed to watching those movies because I saw them before I knew this. I'm not saying that. I don't know what I'm saying. I kind of want to check out the new one, Reborn. I've heard it's garbage, but I know Victor Salva has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Unlike the other three. So,
yeah.
Well, aside from Victor Salva.
Fuck Victor Salva. Fuck him.
We have Gina Phillips as Trish, Justin Long as Derry, Patricia Belcher as Giselle Gay Hartman, a.k.a. the Psychic, because that's what she is in my notes. Eileen Brennan as the Cat Lady, Brandon Smith as Sergeant Davis Tubbs, and Jonathan Breck as the Creeper.
Yeah.
I love
There's
Cat
others,
Lady.
but they get the most time.
Cat Lady's from
great.
Clue. She's, she's, oh my God. Peacock.
She's been around forever. When I looked, it's like she was, been a working actress since the 60s or something. And then Patricia Belcher, the Psychic, she's on Law and Order. She's like the DA or something, she's always like making sure, get the right evidence and bring it back type of lady. Of course, Justin Long is like a horror icon now.
Yeah.
He's really the only one of the few male horror icons, I feel like.
Right.
He's like the male scream queen.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it.
Justin Long is dope. I did see a quote from him because I was trying to find stuff about this just from last year, and he's like, I can't believe people are still talking about this movie. I had no clue that this would like still be popular 20 years later. I was just happy to be in a movie.
Yeah, it seems like it's offered as like a low budget, shitty horror movie. Your first
you have
leading
no
role.
idea that it's going to be good. You know what I mean? Think about how many low budget horror movies there are.
Yeah, it's another thing on the resume, I guess. Or it's, again, like you said, leading role for him.
Right.
Oh, 100%.
It's time for the Goro.
Fatality.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Psycho to the sadness, how gory is this film? 1 to 5 consistency, 1 to 5 intensity. Mush them together, figure out the gore score. Ross, go ahead, Brother Pooh. I see that twinkle in your eye.
Brother Pooh. You know, it's weird because before revisiting this, the Goro meter was way higher in my head than I rewatched this movie. And it sits at like I'd probably say maybe like a 4 to a 4.5. And I feel like it's almost being a little generous. Like there is some gore, but it's a lot of like getting sucked off screen. It's a lot of like things in the way of the violence, I guess would be the best way of putting that. Like you see it, but you don't see it. A lot of it. You see a lot of like splotches of aftermath, but not a whole lot of like actual gore in this movie.
Okay.
It's got that TCM effect. There's not a lot of gore on camera. I would say intensity, I would give it like a 2. It's not that intense. There's some stuff. There's a few shots that are here or there, and so I guess that'd be consistency. I'd give like a 3, so a 5 out of 10 overall. It's here and there throughout the movie. When it is there, it's like Ross said, it's either barely there or there's like the stomach scene. It's pretty gnarly. The House of Pain, pretty gnarly. But besides that,
Me?
Yeah.
Sure. Consistency, I think, like a 2.5 or something seems right. It's fairly in there enough. I was gonna give it maybe like a 3 for intensity. I don't know, just for the fact that you see like a bunch of decapitated heads and stuff. Yeah. And like tonguing heads, and like maybe it's not like the splatteriest, but it's pretty gross with a lot of stuff, I think, in there.
I was gonna give it a 3 for intensity as well.
I can, you know, I can bump mine up to instead of a 2.5 to a 3. I 5 sounds good.
I just rewatched The Sadness. I'm keeping it at a 2.
Is that your palate cleanser for the Goro meter? You have to watch The Sadness and then watch whatever movie you're supposed to just be like, all right, I did. Now I know what a 10 is.
I did it for Joe Blow. We covered it. But like it's y'all do it in y'all's own rating. It's Psycho to Sadness. Like this shit ain't even close to that. They don't hold a candle.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
And did you say the frequency, Brian? The consistency?
2.5.
2.5, so 5.5. Yeah, I think my consistency was going to be 2 for a 5. So we're all in the same ballpark, 5.5, which feels right because it's when I think of it, I actually never thought of it as a particularly gory movie.
Either, yeah.
And then watching it, I was like, oh, there's some ick in here for sure. You're right. It's not like tons of blood, but it's got more like body part stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
It's got body part play.
Some deep creeper French kiss in action.
He's a kisser.
Who is the horror forward?
Started with those itty bitty subgenres these movies like to fall into. What are we thinking for this one?
Creature feature.
Yeah, creature feature. It's got a nice, almost a dash of slasher in it.
It does, absolutely. I'd say the first like half or so feels like a slasher movie.
There's like a mystery element.
Honestly, it's a weird a car thriller, like highway thriller.
A road trip movie.
Yeah.
Yep. All that.
Yeah. I would also say beginner movie for horror fans too. Like if you're a beginner.
Yeah, it's definitely for beginners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would totally agree
Absolutely.
with that. 100%.
What is this rated? It's got to be rated R, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My boy's eating people and there's limbs missing and heads flying off. Yeah, I think
Language.
But
so.
you know what's
Yeah.
funny though is that like honestly, if you just trim back like this, I could see most of the stuff in this movie though making it to television
Yeah.
I agree.
at this point.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Which is crazy for an R-rated movie where I feel like if you just edited maybe 5 to 10 minutes out of this, tops.
USA Network probably butchered this movie
Not even that much.
Yeah.
And what's the best environment to watch this in?
with friends. I think you'd have a lot of
Absolutely.
fun
Yeah.
watching this movie with your buds and having a few brewskis and just being like, oh my God. But there are moments in this movie where everyone's going to have to, I think, in my opinion, like quiet down a little bit and like look at like what's going on. Because there are some atmospheric moments in this film and a lot of,
So like friends over with the lights off.
yeah. Like that.
All right.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Friends over with the lights off. It is.
Friends over with the lights
The
off.
lights off.
You never know who you're going to Eiffel Tower that
Yeah.
night, baby.
Speaking of, you're never knowing who you're gonna Eiffel Tower. Here comes the Chuttle Harbinger of Doom, Mothman flying in.
Gonna Eiffel Tower him.
Never know.
You never know.
Does the Mothman have any trigger warnings for this one?
If you're off put by like really slappy chewy sounds, there's some good
Trigger
ASMR?
warnings for chewy sounds.
yeah.
that kind of
Chewy sound phobics.
yeah.
Perfect.
Honestly, it's really got it doesn't really have
Can't
I don't-
think of anything.
normal
If-
horror fare, you know what I mean? Like
It feels like
Yeah.
it should have animal abuse in it, but it doesn't.
no,
Right?
no, there's
No.
animals, but nothing really
How-
lot of
terrible.
cat-
Seemingly,
a lot of cats run away from scary
yeah,
noises.
like
yeah.
yeah.
no, it's pretty tame in that aspect in terms of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, the only thing problematic is the person who made it.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, trigger warning. Victor Salva made this movie.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what you need.
That's the trigger warning.
Great.
All right, let's go ahead and hop on that. Speaking of roads, let's take East 9 and
Spoiler zone.
starting with the so there's a ton of these. I kept what I thought would be interesting, and I also sprinkled a bunch in, but I could not believe how big the IMDb behind the scenes was for this one. All right. The original truck from the film is owned by a private collector in Maryland who kept it as a relic and also provided it for the production of Jeepers Creepers 3. He also rents it for some events and conventions. So
Sure.
I've definitely seen this truck
I've seen
around
it.
a ton. Yeah.
Yep.
We saw it at Spookala. It
Oh,
was
that's
there.
right. Yeah. With a guy who was
Which-
cosplaying amazingly as the Creeper as well.
He should have brought it over to
Nice.
the road. I don't know if he did, but this was filmed in Dunellen, just outside of Ocala. It's like 3.5 hours from me. Next time I'm driving past there, I'm going to try and pop over there. And it's just some road. They call it Tiger Trail Road. It's supposed to be haunted or something. I can't tell if that started before they shot there or after they shot there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Justin Long's first leading role, and he was only 22 at the time of filming.
Damn.
Despite being portrayed as a college student, Gina Phillips was 30 years old at the time. MGM wanted more bankable names to play the two leads, but Victor Salva's longtime mentor and producer, Francis Ford Coppola, used his clout to stick up for Salva's casting choices.
I bet
Justin Long.
fucking Salva
Do you think
wanted
it was? Do you
Justin
think the
Long
casting?
boyish
Do you think
looking?
the casting choices were
Fucking-
no one else is going to work with me? So these two really beginner
Get
actors
some
don't
young
know me.
naive kid
Yeah.
to come on and yeah.
Oh no! Don't make
Oh,
it
actually,
worse.
also, if you're not connected in Hollywood yet, there is a good chance that if you're trying to break in, you wouldn't necessarily
Wouldn't know this
about
at all,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough to say.
It's like
Imagine-
trying to think
imagine
of reasons
signing-
to defend Justin Long.
Imagine
Give my boy,
Right.
give my boy a break. Yeah, please, for me,
No, but-
because I need to know he has a break. I
No,
love
think about
him.
like signing the contract, getting on set, and then hearing on set for the first day, and just having Justin Long do the heavy stuff. Like, oh no, oh god damn it.
Justin Long and Gina Phillips were allowed to improvise many of their scenes, which writer and director Victor Salva kept in the final cut.
That's
I would imagine it's like they're bickering scenes, you know?
Right.
Those,
Siblings and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
During most of the movie, Trish has green eyes, but towards the end, her eyes turn brown. This was done on purpose to show how Trish becomes more like Derry and how the two of them weren't that different from how they're portrayed in the beginning.
That's
what it says.
That's really weird.
Right.
Okay.
I unfortunately, I should have done the behind the scenes before my second watch. I didn't, so I couldn't look out for that. Because again, Wikipedia movie trivia, but wouldn't surprise me. There's a lot of bizarre choices. I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Justin Long.
Yeah. That's dumb.
That
I'm
one
sorry.
in particular.
I wish I didn't know that.
I feel like, I almost feel like that's not true though, because I feel like after the first watch, you really notice his eyes. So I noticed her eyes and was like, oh yeah, they both have brown eyes. So who knows?
Yeah, I never noticed green eyes either. Yeah, that's weird.
Who knows? I guess we could find out. We'll be right back. Justin Long said that MGM did not have good expectations of the film, so they did not set up a premiere. There was no premiere for this movie.
That's awesome.
The original title was Here Comes the Boogeyman.
Ooh.
Good thing they fucking went the other way on that one.
Is that because they have that "Here Comes the Boogeyman" song at the end of this movie?
And Ross, when that hit at the end, and the opening lyrics are like, "Hey, chill."
Oh my God! Yes, that song is just off-putting on its own accord.
But
what are the first words?
Children, have you ever met the bogeyman before? No, of course you haven't, for you're much too good, I'm sure. Don't you be afraid of him if he should visit you. He's a great big coward, so I'll tell you what to do. Hush, 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 here comes the bogeyman.
Yeah, I feel like, and I'm not trying to, but I feel like this is Victor Salva working out his demons. Because of the sniffing and
there's so much the creeper's fucking pretty creepy, and I imagine Victor Salva doing the same things the creeper does.
I think this is a big working out the demons.
Can you imagine he just stops the creeper and like while drinking, he goes, "No, that's not how you sniff. You gotta just with more nostrils.
You really gotta get into that underwear.
You gotta make the diner lady seem like you enjoy it."
Yeah.
Okay. So this is I like this bit. We're going to get like all the foreign names for this movie. So the term in subsequent rhyme, Jeepers Creepers, is generally only used in the Anglosphere. So a lot of foreign markets had to make do. Some went for the foreign subtitle, but several other markets translated the title to something else entirely. Belgium and French was Morts de Peur, which is Dead of Fear.
Dead of Fear.
Brazil.
Okay.
Brazil, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Brazil, you got Ojos Famintos, which is Hungry Eyes.
Oh,
Hungry Eyes.
You think they use that one instead? That song?
That's a good one.
God. I think that makes it worse almost.
Oh, no. Fuck Victor Salva, man. God damn it.
Now that you say it.
Fucking ew.
That actually led the creepers known as Hungry Eyes in Brazil. That's what they call the creeper.
Child, Hungry Eyes will get you.
He's gonna get you. Ooh, he gonna get you.
That sounds like some Cajun shit. I ain't gonna lie. Hungry Eyes is gonna pull on your toes tonight.
Hungry Eyes gonna pull on your wiener.
On your toes.
Oh, no.
You gonna go to bed, Hungry Eyes gonna come up there, pull on them toes.
Damn. May God they don't.
It's Kuyan over here. All right. Aki Bui, Aki Nem, which, that's hungry, Aki Bui, Aki Nem, and that's who hid, who doesn't, which apparently is the name of a nursery rhyme over there. So it plays into something cultural.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
That'd be like, if they just slapped on like Hansel and Gretel to this movie or something, it seems like
Mother Goose.
I think it's more like Jeepers Creepers, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Because it says the equivalent nursery rhyme, but Jeepers Creepers isn't a nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Imagine going to your kid and they're in the fucking cradle and you're like, Jeepers creepers. Like, what the fuck?
Get a lot of them peepers.
Oh my God. Why, Mom? Why, Dad?
I mean, it's not, I guess, an inherently creepy song, is it? Unless you would tie it to.
It's just
You're
an
right.
odd thing to sing. It's not like soothing.
No, it's like that weird, like the ink spots or like the old 1920s kind of just like, I think it's just because of how it's made, it's off-putting, not that directly the lyrics are off-putting.
But what about that cool version we hear in this movie?
Is
Right.
the Ink Spots like a group or something?
Yeah.
Well, there was a band called the Ink Spots. They did like I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire, and like a lot of the BioShock, some Fallout used it. That kind of like.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your
The flagged swings, the big donkeys, Chester and the fellow taters.
What are y'all talking about right now?
Just naming off 1920s bands.
Whoa.
You can't name off 1920s bands?
No, I can't just do
Sam
that.
and we used to listen to like a lot of 1940s when we went to camping.
Oh, that's dope.
I was making all that shit up. I don't know any.
God damn it.
Mexico, Peru, Venezuela. It was Demonio, the demon.
Oh, yeah.
Poland, shout out, Brian's people. Smakos, which is gourmet.
Gourmet.
I like that.
Brian, how's your Bopchi and your Jaji doing?
Fine, I don't know what the hell that you just said to me.
That's Polish for grandma and grandpa.
Oh, they're dead.
Oh, good. They're dead.
Great.
R.I.P.
Hungry? What'd you say it was called? Delight
Gourmet.
Gourmet. Nice.
Yeah.
That was cute.
This one's hard. You ready?
Ooh.
Romania. Tenebrae.
What? Excuse me?
In Romania, Jeepers Creepers is called Tenebrae.
No, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
You fucking bet. It means darkness, according to this. How about that? Darkness.
In Italian.
Means fear in Italian. What's he talking about?
What about fear?
And last, we have Serbia. I like this one too. Strasno Strasilo, which means scary scarecrow.
It works.
Gary Scarecrow?
Yeah.
Scary.
It's Gary, the Scarecrow.
Gary
Scary.
Scarecrow.
Scary scarecrow.
Oh,
Okay,
dude,
hold on.
that's his name now, is Gary.
What are we saying right now? Gary? Sam?
The translation is scary. Like
Okay,
scary
right.
stories to tell in the
Scary.
dark.
Okay, that's what I was
that makes
confirming.
more sense. I
And
thought
Ross
you said
calling him
Gary.
Gary.
I like Ross's interpretation. And
Gary
that's
Scarecrow?
better one. The creeper is Gary.
Let's just go. Oh, the creeper. Oh, you mean Gary Scarecrow?
You mean Gary?
Gary Scarecrow?
That's my sequel.
Oh, that guy that comes out every 23 years? His name's Gary.
Jeepers Creepers
23
Gary Scarecrow.
The other 23 years and 23 days, he's Gary. He's Gary
just-
Scarecrow. And then every 23
He's just good old
years for
normal Gary
23 days. Yeah,
Perfect.
it's a real problem. Gary.
Gary Scarecrow.
So I just didn't realize this or never knew this, that Jeepers Creepers is a euphemism for Jesus Christ. Like it's what you'd say instead of...
Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
Jesus
JC? That
Christ.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, like Jeezum Crow.
Or
Yes.
Jiminy Cricket or Cheese and
Yeah.
Ice, any of that stuff.
Okay.
I
Sure.
had no idea.
Me neither.
Now you know.
The climax of the film takes place in the county of Poho. This is a fictional town created by Victor Salva for the movie Clown House. And besides being the county where almost all his films take place.
No.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I don't like
At around
that. Gross.
I hate it.
hate you.
I don't
hate
like, the fact, hey
Not
guys,
you,
you want to,
him.
You think
you
you
guys want
hate
to stay in
that.
my fictional town for a little while? No, I don't.
No, I don't.
You think you hate that? At around 35 minutes, inside Opera's restaurants is an arcade with a clown house. And the Clown House theme from the movie Clown House is playing. Like the theme from the movie is playing in the restaurant arcade.
Yeah, he's just trying to plaster his fucking sins all over this movie. Yeah, fuck this guy, dude.
Okay. All right.
This is making my score go down.
This I like. He wrote the main characters as brother and sister in order to eliminate any sexual tension and keep them focused on escaping the creeper.
So instead of stepbrother and sister, they decided to go for just straight brother and sister.
Or like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah. One of them gets caught.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh, stepbrother.
Ross has been watching.
Ross is like, because if they're only related by marriage, then it would have been cool. That's his like go-to.
I heard you, Brian.
It's terrible. No, that's not what I watch. It's appalling how much of that is on those sites. But no, I do not watch that.
Don't worry, though.
It's all that pops up for me. But
Excuse me. I have some class when I'm doing that.
It's like the ads. Like I have to watch that to get to my normal stuff. And by the time I get to the normal stuff, well, I'm
normal stuff.
So it's almost sped up.
Yes, I just look up man, woman, sex.
Man, woman, sex. Google video. Turn off the blur feature. I need to see what I'm about to look at real quick.
Turn the blur back on. Go on, Sam.
Blur icon back on. All right. Victor Salva has always said the Creeper legend is complete fiction, but the scene where Trish and Derry witnessed the Creeper dumping a body down a well was inspired by the case of Dennis DePue, a former Michigan property assessor who murdered his wife and was seen by witnesses near an old schoolhouse with a bloody sheet.
Yep.
2 witnesses also recalled DePue speeding past them in a van and eventually tailing them and riding their bumper for several miles.
Oh.
This case was also profiled in an episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
Yes, and knowing that kind of gives, I'll say, like, whoever the fuck wrote it, I don't want to even say your name, but that is cool to tie that into a true crime and use that as some like a basis.
Yeah.
And that story is actually really fucked up. If you go YouTube it, there's a lot of YouTube videos about that case. Really interesting crime story if you're into true crime stuff.
Oh, look it up. When the man who made the movie arrived in Florida, he found out that $1 million of his budget had been cut and he had to change the last 20 pages of the script. There would have been a fiery climax where Derry manages to get behind the wheel of the Creeper's truck and drives it into an oncoming train in a suicidal attempt to destroy the creature.
Okay, that would have been very epic. I'm not gonna lie.
That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Agreed, but it totally changes the tone of the ending of the film.
Oh, yeah.
I like this ending better.
I do too. Not that I don't want to see that.
Right.
But
I'd see it, but I think this one is better.
Stronger.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now, did this... I know we're going to obviously get into the movie. Is there a deleted beginning sequence to this movie with the...
Not that I read.
The couple from the 50s? Like, you actually see whatever the... When Justin Long sees the couple with the ring, you actually get to see what happens to him.
Are you asking because you know? Or yeah,
I remember seeing that in a deleted... No, I remember seeing that scene, but I don't know if it was from like my deleted
thing on
the
IMDb trivia.
Yeah,
I had the DVD back in the Gap, and we're in the spoiler zone. So the only thing that I remember from it was that the Creeper talked.
There is that I do have that.
Okay.
He had one line in the movie that got cut,
and he sounded like
"I'm a diddle ya."
Yeah, he's.
Oh my God, Brian, that's
wow. I love it. I love. He said, "I'm a diddle ya." Oh, it's amazing. No, he did sound like an old Western type though. He was like, "She smells funny" or something like that.
Oh my God!
With the cat, he smelled all that cat lady urine.
Add that part in the movie.
We'll get there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just going to say I'll have the exact quote when the time comes.
Beautiful.
The Creeper's truck was every bit the jalopy it appears to be in the film. The exhaust system didn't work, and after every take, the driver had to open the door and let out a cloud of smoke.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Damn, that thing seemed like it was fucking jacked. That sucks.
Movie magic.
Right.
Jonathan Breck, who plays the Creeper, decided to audition to face his own fears of the horror genre. After being told that he would be showing his own interpretation of the Creeper, Breck spent his time researching different animal movements. On the day of his audition, he shaved his head and took part in the sniff test, where he sniffed various members of the casting crew while in character.
Get the fuck out of here. How is
Any other movie, man. Any other movie.
Yeah, you're right, Ross. If it was any other movie, it wouldn't be that weird. But because it's this movie, it's that fucking weird.
Yeah.
Ah, that kills me. I'm sorry. That's
Just
It's so fucked up.
It's like Dan
That's fucked
Schneider
up.
shit. Like,
quite the audition.
Everyone, get ready to pass the sniff test.
All right. Originally, the Creeper. All right. You ready for some real fucked up shit, boys?
Ooh.
I want to save this one for last, actually.
okay. Okay.
Body,
Oh.
so
It's fine.
body count is 7.
Mm-hmm.
Creeper kills 7. Around 2 minutes in the movie, I didn't see this, but I believe it was probably in there. Near the beginning of the movie, you can see Trish holding a pair of reading glasses. This is probably why the Creeper prefers dairy to Trish. Like a little hidden little note there. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Originally, the Creeper design had male genitalia. These were discarded by Francis Ford Coppola and designer Brad Parker, who advised Victor Salva that a Creeper with genitals would divert public attention. Coppola asked Salva if he was willing to risk losing the audience's focus and attention whenever the naked Creeper was shown below the waist. In the end, it was decided to place strands of hair on his crotch so as not to lose the idea that it was a male monster.
I don't. Okay.
I had a whole sub note about that police station thing where I was like, did anybody else see his dick? So I'm glad that this was brought up.
I never noticed it. I wish I noticed the tufts of hair. That would have been fun. I don't know why that.
It seemed like it was like
I don't know why that
photoshopped out or
denotes that
edited
it's has to be a male. But
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. Oh, because
maybe-
pubic hair immediately is male.
maybe
for whatever reason.
maybe the incredibly manly features of its face and everything else would be
Right.
enough that it doesn't need to have a fucking dick hanging out.
Well, whatever this creature is, the male ones have hair there and the females ones don't.
I guess that's it.
To me, it was always like Frieza from Dragon Ball. Like he is a male, but if you see him, and you do see him without pants on, there's no genitalia. So I just kind of thought the Creeper was that sort of creature. It just didn't matter to it. Yeah,
It didn't need.
Comes
I
out
would
when
picture-
it needs it, whatever.
Exactly.
I didn't think about how it mates.
no.
Or maybe he just hadn't eaten a dick yet.
It never ate a dick.
Never ate a
Just
dick.
Eat a dick, huh? Eat a dick, huh?
But
Could
it's
it change?
no,
What if it?
Never smelled the right dick to eat.
Oh, God, is that the smell test they did on the audition?
Every sniff test he did, he was like, "Oh no."
Francis Ford Coppola's like, buddy, I support you, but like, we can't be just blatantly throwing it out there.
Listen, you can't.
No, Brian, I like the train of thought you were going with, because he eats body parts to like replace them after a certain amount of time. So you would think that like the Creeper could be man or woman depending on
Like, what if he eats a pair of boobs?
his appetite. Yeah, he's gonna get.
Right.
He's gonna
Oh,
get.
that's
He's gonna get
very
boobs.
true. Yeah.
Creeper tits.
You know,
Yeah.
he's had to have. If like
Creepits.
he had to have tried.
Creepits.
A young creeper,
Oh,
a young creepers be trying that stuff like that.
It's based on
that
mood,
creep pussy,
you know?
bro.
Oh god, creepussy.
He's got that creep pussy.
Creep pussy.
Yeah, creepussy.
Yeah, dude.
Interesting.
All right.
I've never seen this movie through this lens. Thank you, Chuddle the Pod.
It's
amazing.
We can take you somewhere.
Oh, I love it. I'm here for it.
All right, before we get into the big discussion, who picked it, why, in history, this was a bonus patron suggestion. Who suggested this?
I thought T-Boo
I
did.
don't remember.
Didn't you?
Did you? Were you
I
the
don't know.
suggester?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
If I did, I don't remember. And if I did, it was as a joke. But it was also but it might have also been like, will they do this because of what this movie is?
Yeah.
So if it was me and you did do it because of that, Hell to the fucking yeah, and I'm glad I'm here for it. Jeepers Creepers, bitch. Fuck Victor Salva, but this movie is dope.
Fuck Victor Salvo.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Pooh. All right. So bonus patron episode, we had to sort of change up our cycle a little bit for, recording with other guests. And so that's how this got picked. Here we are doing it. I don't have much of a history with this one. I do remember renting it and watching it at my friend Justin's house in high school. I think my friend John was there too. And even at the time, I remember being like, meh, it's just never... And I don't think I've seen it since then.
The Witch Plalix. Sorry.
Shout out.
That too suggested
Shout out.
it.
Shout out, Alex.
I mean, I have a history. I mean, I've seen this a bunch. I really liked it and enjoyed it when I was younger because I thought it was different in the horror realm, and I really liked Justin. I didn't know Justin Long that well, but obviously it's the third movie or whatever, but I really enjoyed him and his character in it and all that stuff. But I don't think I've really revisited it in a very long time, and I definitely saw the second one. I didn't see anything past that.
I haven't revisited Jeepers Creepers for a minute, and when I first saw it, I did not like it, like at all. And so it was actually really fun to watch this for the podcast because I kind of had an already, for choice of better words, just prejudice against this movie. Even shy, I'm not even really divulging
knowing
into
the full details,
and stuff like that. But I was all I have to say is I was very pleasantly surprised by my rewatch.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm really interested in seeing where tonight takes me because I haven't been able to figure out where I come down, and a big part of that is the whole piece of shit director thing.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's been a struggle for me too. I saw this when it came out. I rented it. I didn't see the first one in theaters, but I did rent it, and I enjoyed it for a creature feature. I thought it was an interesting play on whatever the fuck this monster is, and very unique for the time, especially early 2000s. And I did see the second one in theaters. A friend of mine, Shane, bought me the Creeper as like a 15-inch figure that had a decapitated head and the axe and the hat all removable, and he was opposable and stuff. And then we went and saw the second one in theaters together, and it was dope, really fun. So the second one I like more, I think, than this one, but I haven't seen that one in about as long a time that I haven't seen this one since, and that's been years. So this is the first time watching in a long time. Victor Salva aside, let's dive into it.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of the sequels. I was going to try and watch the second one before doing this, but it didn't happen.
It's a lot of fun. It's really fun.
It looked fun. I saw the trailer because I didn't mind for that. And I was like, this actually looks better.
It's fun. It's really cool.
All right, let's go ahead and do the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's finally talk about this motherfucker. Opening shot, car driving down the road towards the camera. I liked how the chatter in the car is indistinct and becomes sort of audible as it comes to us. We're now in the car, seeing the brother and sister just bicker like siblings, playing road games, reading license plates. I think that's when they insult each other. They're coming home for spring break, I think. They're taking the back roads because it seems like Trish is broken up with her boyfriend.
No, I like the countryside.
Yeah. And it got nothing to do with Mr. Poli-Sci track team.
Yeah. Right.
I love the country music rendition that Derry does, where he's singing about Mr. Poli-Sci track team guy. I don't remember what he says, but I like how he's making fun of him and stuff.
Oh yeah, they got a fun relationship.
Yeah.
I was gonna say their chemistry as brother and sister is super fun in this, where it's like it seems very, very organic. They did a fucking great job of like just the appropriate amount of like razzing and rib shots throughout this.
My one thing with this scene though is like they're playing this game where they read vanity license plates and try to make out what it is, and that's how you score points. And I'm like, y'all are on a road trip in fucking North Florida in the middle of nowhere. you're not going to see that many vanity license plates.
Nobody is paying the extra $25 on their license plate to get it banned.
I mean, they only have like
cars on the road.
They only have a couple points
You're
each.
right.
That's very true. Yeah,
that's true. But it's just like that's such a weird game to be playing.
I'm sure.
It's just a little nitpick that old T-Boo had watching it. I was like, I had a picnic watching this part.
That's
Ain't
fair.
down with the sexy forever.
I'm all about. No, I like the first one though. He's like gay fever.
Gay fever.
And I'm like,
gay
yeah,
forever.
baby.
I nailed it.
Gay
I got
forever.
the point.
She's like, that's not a G, that's a 6. Sexy.
Sexy.
And they see the guy driving.
Sexy.
She's like, that's you in 40 years. And he's like, okay, well, whatever then.
Yeah, they're having. Yeah, it's good.
I love it. I do
them
like it.
together.
Yeah.
So, Darius. If you didn't figure out, Derry is an allusion to It, Stephen King's It, and where a creature wakes up every so often and feeds and goes away again.
I did not. Again, you're blowing my mind with this shit. I never caught this.
That's
I
an
never
IMDb behind the scene for you.
I've never caught this. I've never even known. I never put 2 and 2 together. This is
I
making
did
me
put the
mad.
Derry thing together, like as soon as I heard his name first time watch, but I didn't think about the fact that you know what Pennywise
The
is
It
up
cycle.
What the?
That's crazy. I've never connected these things. That's wild.
to. Suddenly, a rusty truck is behind them, honking and being generally aggressive.
I mean, I do love you. Do see
I
it
do like
come
that
up.
honk. It is like
that
aggressive.
Yeah, that's a good
use-
shot.
The
Shot is fucking
perspective.
great.
The use of perspective in this movie and like seeing you can shit coming from so far away is
Yes.
done really well.
And then later on, when
effective.
stuff's in the background while they're arguing, is like
And you
it's
Mhm.
yeah.
But yeah, it just fucking zooms up there and is fucking very aggressive behind him.
I feel like the guys that did It Follows took a keynote from some of the Jeeper Creepers shots
Sure.
where you have this like dialogue and thing going on, and then just this ominous shape
Perspective.
just coming at you.
From behind.
I'm glad Brian pointed that out because like even watching it on this last watch, that shot where the truck is way in the background because that RV, the Sexy Forever
It
RV,
turns off.
pulls off to the side. Then you just see way back there this little blurry shape, and it just like you said, just hauls up on their ass,
Cooking.
man. Like that the tension. There's a lot of tension building scenes in this movie that I feel like work that way, and I dig that too.
I agree.
good.
Yeah. Because it's so
But
easy
honestly, this. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's so easy, I think, in movies to fuck up shots like that and then just make them either way too on the nose or it just doesn't work out. And for this, it works really, really well multiple times throughout the movie, which I think is fucking rad.
I think the way that would probably be framed in a lot of other things would be the close-ups of them, and you're not getting that shot behind them of seeing it, and then you just get a quick cut of like it right behind them and get the jump scare, as opposed to this kind of like tension building scare.
Absolutely.
It would come faster.
Yes.
Right.
It's almost like kind of Hitchcockian in a way.
Yes.
Like where as the
Absolutely.
viewer, the audience, you see it. And
That's
it's
the whole thing with
calming.
Hitchcock, right?
Mhm.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
the audience knows the bomb's under the table. How are you going to stop it? Type of.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
We know it's coming. Yeah, absolutely. You show them.
Show them.
Suddenly, yeah, I said that. The truck passes and its license plate reads, "Beaten Goo."
Beaten goo.
Beaten goo. Forever in fortuity.
Being goo.
It's BEATNGU. At the time, they say beaten you, which makes sense. It's driving aggressive. It's beating you. You know, you can
Yeah.
follow the logic there. Something I didn't notice, somebody on IMDb thought Trish and Derry interpret license plates for cars. Their own car has the letters SVM on its license plate, which can be interpreted as "Save Me."
Oh.
Oh.
That's neat.
Yes.
Somebody
That's awesome.
save me.
Yeah, exactly.
What is that from Heroes?
Smallville.
Smallville. Okay.
Remy
Okay.
Zero.
I love that. I do love that show. I got them mixed up, but yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, man. they talk about a couple that went missing on this highway and bicker some more. So that's when they bring up the couple that went missing 23 years ago, turns out.
To this very day.
I like their little
infinity.
yeah. It's like, okay, y'all are clearly brother and sister because, and that goes to like, I guess, Justin Long and Gina Phillips, like hanging out and developing this relationship that they're going to portray on screen. Really cool for those young actors to be doing that. Yeah. And it really comes across. And like when Ross brought up that it's like a road movie, I'm a big fan of road movies. From Dumb and Dumber to Joyride. Like I love all that shit. I think it's Detroit Rock City. I love a road movie.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the producers so I shared a poster. A producer for Detroit Rock City is on a missing persons poster later in this movie.
Whoa.
Nice.
Whoa. Okay, that's wow.
Oh, come up later, but I remember seeing that and being like, oh, I gotta mention that because I know that you were a big fan of that movie, and I missed when you guys had the watch along, but I really want to revisit it because I used to love that fucking movie.
It's fun.
Anyway, side tangent there. Did I cut you off for something, or should we keep going?
No, I'm just talking with y'all. I don't know.
They continue driving and pass the rusty truck as we see a figure dumping what looks like wrapped up bodies down a big pipe.
Okay, so upon revisiting it, and the scene's coming up, how he hucks those fucking bodies in that fucking... It's kind of comedic.
Oh, I love how the creeper's
absolutely
very comedic.
Yes.
Very.
Yes.
It's pretty campy.
Yes.
It's very
He loves
campy.
what he's doing, I think.
Oh, yeah.
He's
into it. He's a showman.
I think the part of the scene, though, where like they're slowing down to look at him and he throws the body all stupidly and it's awesome, but he turns and looks and sees them looking at him. And as the audience, as the viewer, like he sees them looking at him. And I'm fuck. If I was in that car, I'd be like, fuck, he sees us. And then he takes off in his little fucking, like, what would jalopy mobile. Yeah. Dude.
Yo, so here's a great little thing that insight from IMDb behind the scenes is that had Trish and Derry not bothered to watch the creeper unload the bodies, he would have ignored them. The only reason the creeper noticed them was because the scent of their apprehension wafted over him.
Oh, yeah, their fear. They got a little bit scared and stuff.
Yeah, they saw it, and he was like, and looked over. Yeah,
he was like, "What is that?
Interesting.
Is that some fear I smell?"
I like that. I don't know if that was intended. It might be somebody reading too much into it, but I
That's
like
the fun part. That's the fun part. Yeah.
But it is very clear. I do get the feeling that, like, if they did just drive by, none of this would have happened to them, type of thing. It's them putting their noses into it, or whatever you want to have. Initiating
sticking their noses into it. Eh?
We're gonna get to it in a second. We'll get to it, but there's a part coming up that I'm like, you fucking dumb motherfucker.
They constantly are doing that for sure.
There's a lot of that,
but it's this is in my opinion, and it's the catalyst for everything that unfolds afterwards. Maybe this scene could have been based on that IMDb reviewer, but what's about to happen? Sam's about to get to it, but fucking fuck, man.
All right. Well, first, they drive faster, but the creeper gets back in the truck, chases down our siblings, smashes into the back of the car several times before he forces them off the road, and they coast into a field as the creeper drives on.
I do like their shock in this scene, though. Like the way that Derry plays it, like, yeah, they're
it's like Jeepers Creepers. That was scary.
Gina Phillips has to like sit there for a second and then finally pull her hair back from across her face. Like, what the fuck did we just go through with this asshole on our tail?
Tying the trunk down, trying to figure out if it still works, and Derry all of a sudden is like, let's go check on that corpse pipe.
Gotta check out the corpse pipe.
Like, oh, I mean, and his argument, like, I get where
corpse
he's coming
pipe,
from.
That's a band name. Sorry.
Corpse
pipe.
It is. Hey, down that corpse pipe. No, but I mean, like, I get where he's coming from, where he's like, hey, like, what if it was you down there? Like, what if someone was like, what if we actually saw what we saw? Would it be more pertinent to get there to try to help someone versus trying to go call someone when they eventually get to a phone?
Go call someone.
I would say we would need to go get.
Yeah.
What help are we going to provide?
Yeah,
Why would you
hell?
do that?
The most helpful thing we can do is to get more people.
Yeah.
If I was with my sister on a road trip and it's like, this is the choice, this is to me the ultimate fuck up of the movie, where Justin Long is like, and I love how Trisha says to Derry, you just want to go see what nasty thing is on the other end of that pipe. And it's like, he looks at the sky and smiles because it's true. He just wants to go fucking look at it, man. He's
You
a
think
little
so?
bit. Yeah.
I thought he was looking at the sky and smiling like, Lord, give me strength dealing with my sister.
I think it's like half and half.
It's a mixture. It's
like a curiosity killed the cat scenario where you're just like, man, he's using that, but like there's part of him like you could tell is like, no, this is a young kid. He just wants to Scooby Doo it.
She knows him and she's like, you want to go on an adventure? I know you, like, type thing. And that's what he's doing, man. He's trying to just have a little fun, but it's morbid, right? But yeah, this is the ultimate fuck up of the movie is him persuading her to go back and go down the goddamn corpse pipe. That's the best term ever.
Hang 10 on the corpse pipe, dude.
So just like you said, she's against it, but he does persuade her, and they go to do it by saying, yo, what if it was you, right? So they drive back down there. Creeper truck's not there. Go over to the corpse pipe. It turns out it's by an old church. Derry starts yelling down the hole, hello.
Hello, 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 hello.
Not really getting an answer.
I'm still
I can
alive.
see a light down there.
I'm just very badly burnt.
Hello. It smells of
Farrell
almonds.
down at the.
But yeah, there's a bunch of birds. I don't know if they're crows or ravens,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I think they're.
I forget which
they're
one's
crows.
I would think so because
which. One of
thing.
those birds is more solitary than the other.
Do you think like the crows and like those crows, ravens, or whatever they're like, are they BFFs with the creeper? Are like they hanging out? Like are they like?
I think they're
cohorts?
his watchers. Yeah, I think they're his watchers. That's my own headcanon. I don't know if it's true at all, but that's like they're looking and because they all start calling. They're like,
Maybe they just like the leftovers.
They work for him.
They eat,
but he makes
they
friends
eat the
with
pickings and stuff. I don't know, like any little.
Yeah, he gives them
bits and
gifts so they keep on
pieces,
coming
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
the one crow lands next to the other crow and he's like, slim pickings around here, huh? And they start calling together, caw, 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 like they're laughing.
Take us in this corpse pipe.
So Derry he thinks he hears something. He has his sister hold him by his feet, looking in, and she's doing that when rats start crawling near Derry. He starts screaming and kicking his legs like a child, causing Trish to let go of him, and we see him fall to the earth below in a very enjoyable top-down slow-mo shot.
Yeah.
Thud.
Mm-hmm.
And he got his hand. He's got fucking. What did you get when you got the rusty cut? What's that?
Tetanus.
Tetanus.
He's got tetanus now.
Tenebrae.
Yeah.
Tenebrae.
He's got tenebrae now.
He's got tenebrae.
All of a sudden he hears...
Oh, yeah, it's... No. Well,
all right.
Okay, hold on. Never mind. Let's see if
No,
we can
no,
run
no,
the
it's
bit
fine.
back.
I'm here for it.
Let's do it.
No, it's fine. It'll happen organically.
All of a sudden he hears.
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
This is all staying in, too. Sam.
I'll say it. I'm not
Derry's mad she let go of him, but it's totally his fault.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
His hand's cut, his shirt's cut. He's looking a bit rough from this fall.
Mm-hmm.
Derry notices his body wrapped in white, in a white sheet and rope. So in the darkness, he's approaching, starting to check it out. Jump scare! The hand grabs him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Derry uncovers the face and a very pale young man and a very pale young man is in the sheet, and he's having a hard time.
He's like
He's not doing well.
I've never seen so many, because I watched it with subtitles, so many inaudible
Right.
gasping,
Oh.
A lot of
inaudible talking,
Mhm.
I
inaudible
always
gasping.
thought he was saying something, and I watched it with subtitles too
It
this
just says
time.
inaudible.
He don't
Not,
he
yeah.
don't say shit.
He might,
He
but
don't say shit.
they did not translate it to
No, they did
captions.
not. He's
The caption
pointing-
person's like, I don't fucking know, inaudible.
He's pointing at his fucking belly the whole time.
Oh yeah, he starts like doing that, like pawing at himself. He's like,
Yeah.
look under the sheet.
Yeah.
It's not my
Definitely
dick.
missing something in there. So his chest has been sewn up as if it's had a major organ removed. He tries to whisper something to Derry, but dies. Blech.
It was
What
in
do
the
y'all think?
castle
Pretty
of
gross, though.
Og.
It is gross looking, you know what I mean? I count that towards gore, the sewn up
Sure.
chest, you know?
What do y'all think he had removed?
Maybe it was like his like esophagus or like a windpipey type something there, because that's why he couldn't talk right.
Let him live for a little bit.
Yeah.
It just made him feel. Yeah,
That's true.
And he was probably like dying, and then that was his last burst of energy. But that last burst of energy ultimately killed him as well. He could have probably just been like slowly dying for longer. He just quickly died after bursting. Oh, I'm bursting.
A
Bursting makes
death.
me feel bad.
Oh, tell you what, I burst, brother Pooh. All right. Derry tells Trish, go to the road, try and flag down a car, get help. Even though the road is nearly always empty and just going and standing by the road is probably not the best thing to do. He also says, hey, if you see that truck coming, come let me know.
Yeah.
Now Derry is exploring the basement. Must be northern Florida and
Yeah.
enter, because we
Yeah, 'cause there's
do
a
not
goddamn
have
basement.
basements. While tying his shoes, he gets a little goo dripped on him
Mm.
and starts looking around, and the walls are adorned with preserved corpses.
Corpse
Oh,
Chapel is
Aki.
This is a
pretty cool.
yeah, an interesting set.
Amazing
I think what's
set
cool
piece.
about
I think it's cool. I think it's scary.
this
I like it.
Cavern.
I mean,
this
because you see
den.
like the torture, you see like the torture table where it's got like the winged, batted headed like thing engraved on there, and then like seeing just Meat Chapel is, I think it elevates
Meat Chapel.
it.
There's another band.
There you
Meat
go.
Chapel.
Yeah, dude.
That's a
Meat
good name
Chapel.
for it.
Meat Chapel and Corpse Pipe.
Meat Chapel is playing with Corpse Pipe. Holy shit!
Yeah, they're going on tour together. Yeah.
Where are they playing?
Just got their new split.
I think what's cool about it is that like, especially in these earlier scenes, is that like, yeah, it gives off a lot of slasher vibes, but then when you actually see this layer, it starts giving it way more of like a supernatural, like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because it goes from like a body in a bag that's been stitched up, which is like, okay, that could be a slasher, to an entire underground cavern full of hundreds of corpses. And you're like, oh, shit. Okay. This is not a natural slasher.
It's a house.
I guess at this point I was still thinking it could have been a slasher, and this is just what they do with the bodies.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hard to say, you know what I mean? Because
There's a lot of work put
by
into
this watch, I definitely knew that it wasn't.
Right.
Right. If it was a regular slasher villain though, like that's a lot of work to put in. And that when Ross said the fucking that carving,
Mm.
Oh,
that's
yes.
like a self-portrait.
Yeah, it also looked like medieval. I think that was kind of
Yeah.
fun too, is that there's some aspects of like the work table and the working tools that are like archaically old,
Mm-hmm.
which
That's
is
how
awesome.
long this motherfucker has been around, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These are all like his like art
Victor
pieces.
Salva was one of the bodies on the wall.
good.
He probably had his
Nice,
wiener out
good.
too.
Ugh.
He probably did.
Yuck.
Someone come shellac my wiener.
It's okay. It's perfectly normal.
I'm so then like he's like walking around set naked the whole rest of the day, and they're like,
Oh
we're
my
Where's
done
my
God.
with that
sniffer?"
scene. He's like, yeah, we might need to come back to it. I feel like I need to stay in character just in case we need to.
Have you guys seen my copy of Clown Town?
Good God.
Yeah,
right? I'm sure,
Talk about a movie I never want to see. I
No, why?
can't think of anything
No,
worse.
no.
You know what else really sucks about it? I mean, there's no way he hopefully he wouldn't have known at the time. A young Sam Rockwell is in that movie. Not like a child, but a young man.
That's still, yeah.
Ah.
Well, all
Fuck
right.
Victor
So we're
Salva
chilling in the
again.
creeper's house.
Trish
Yeah.
waits by the road while Derry does corpse checks. He finds what he believes is the missing couple from the urban legend that he talked about earlier with his sister.
Yes.
They have that class ring from the year that they went missing, but they're perfectly preserved. And the head had been cut off and reattached.
And they had been like sewn together as well.
Legend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, they're a couple. He was trying to, keep
Fucked up.
Yeah, it's like his art. It's like,
yeah, totally. This is my art. He does have like a workbench and stuff. What he does is very amusing at the end.
Well, I mean, probably like,
I think.
Yeah, no, I think he like sits there and he's probably like, and like chuckles to himself and does he's like, they're a couple. I'm gonna sew them together. Get it?
This will be good. It's very good.
Like, oh, there's no one here with me.
Did give me the fucking what was the demon from Insidious where the guy's like working on his workbench? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like it's crazy to have this like weird demonic-y creature thing that has been doing it for so long that this is like just another day in the office for him.
Well,
which
you
I
gotta
think is
find.
just
I think
super fun.
I think he's
You
got to
gotta
find
find joy in
joy because he gets 23 days every however many years or whatever it is. Like what a kind of shitty existence that is too. You only like.
Yeah.
So this is his
This
thing.
could be
it's
the
fun.
worst part of his existence. The rest of the time he's Gary, right? So
that is
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Yes.
Gary Scarecrow.
Attorney at law.
He's a lawyer.
He's an agricultural lawyer named Gary Scarecrow.
What a shitty existence.
God
damn.
It got worse.
Yeah.
So Trish is standing by the road when she sees the truck coming. Oh no. She tries to start her car to no avail, and just as the truck gets to her, it passes, and it's just a different old truck.
Oh, fuck. Oh, okay.
I think this is another good tension scene. But
It is.
It is because we see the
it's,
truck before she does. We see something approaching again, and we're like, "Fuck, we've seen this before."
It's the same trick, but I think it's fine. It's fine here.
It still works. Bang. Daria's out at the car looking dirty and scared.
She's like, "You look like you just crawled out of a sewer pipe, a corpse pipe."
Yeah, he looks very shocked. Then
He's silent.
sits his head on the window and breathes.
He is
He left
traumatized.
how do you get out of the meat chapel? Crawl through the corpse pipe.
I was gonna say it's really interesting how she plays it in the car because like if your younger brother had like is visually that fucked up, it is kind of amazing how she's still just fucking with him while driving.
Yeah, because they're still playing their sibling games to a degree.
Yeah, where he's just like literally almost catatonic, just staring out the window.
He's going like, yeah, her head did get cut off, and he reattached it. And while he's like tending to his tetanus wounds,
Yeah, isn't that so
Like-
nice?
yeah, pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up for this movie, man. Like, at least what's happening here.
So Trish and Derry are driving along. He's still dazed, and she says they need to stop for gas. Eventually, he tells her he saw the missing people down there. Darla lost her head, but he sewed it back on. At the gas station, they see the truck pass on its way back to the church. The gas station is also a diner, and they ask a waitress to call the police. The name of the restaurant where Trish and Derry stop is called Opper. This is a tribute to Barry Opper, producer of the movie Critters, who collaborated on this film.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
The diner
Didn't know that.
was also a set built just for the film, and it looked real enough that passerbys would stop to try and get food or gas. Idiots. Why would they think this fucking gas station and diner was real?
It's like all of a sudden the creeper comes out, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, what the fuck? Honey, get back in the car.
Trish and Derry continue to argue while they wait in the diner. Suddenly, the payphone next to them rings. They answer it, and it's an ominous call from an unknown female.
My babe.
She asks them if they've seen the cats yet, and tells Derry you found out. Oh, and this is where she tells Derry you found its house of pain.
Yeah. I was hoping Brian had a Cupidus.
That's what he likes to call it.
Oh my god! Can you imagine just the creeper just putting that House of Pain on and just like
that should be what he like puts on the stereo,
It would be
or what
so
he whistles.
fucking amazing,
jump
man.
around.
What he whistles when he's like strolling down the road. I can't whistle like that. I got a little dry mouth right
like
now.
people whistle.
Yeah, you've heard that before. It's common. So House of Pain won't like it. she tells them once it has the scent of something it likes, it won't stop.
Mm-hmm.
She warns that when they hear the song Jeepers Creepers, they have to run before something terrible happens to them.
She's like, hold on, listen to this. And it's like Back to the Future. They put the phone up to the speaker. It's like, Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those papers? Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those eyes? Like some 1920s old ditty and shit.
It absolutely is. The cops have arrived. They're talking to a diner employee and eyeing Derry and Trish. Trish tells Derry maybe he shouldn't have mentioned the spooky call and kind of question whether or not he hit his head when he fell down into the basement of that church.
Mm-hmm.
Not believing him all the way, we'll say. They talk to the cops, who seem skeptical but are interrupted by the waitress. Apparently, a man has been standing by Trish and Derry's car, and he is getting nose deep in Derry's dirty drawers.
Dude, he'd
It's
be
Victor
smelling.
Salva.
Yeah. Victor's like, I'm gonna step in for this role here. This scene.
It's like,
here.
you really need to get in more like this. You're not getting it right. Like this.
No,
You
don't
gotta
worry.
take bigger
I have my own
wafts.
trench
Now,
coat.
Justin, I really want to add authenticity to this scene, so I'm gonna have you wear a pair of underwear. We're gonna put it in here. So can you wear these for a couple days, and then we're gonna film this scene here, and I'm just gonna show you how to
I
sniff
need
it.
you to get real dirty in these.
We need your dirty clothes for this.
Yes, please.
Damn you, Victor Salva.
Apparently, a man had been standing by their car, getting nose deep in his underwear. Derry laments their situation as he picks up his clothes. But there's a handprint left on the door.
Mm-hmm.
It looks as if it was already dusted for prints. A little wind blows and kind of blows some of the dust away. And just as that happens, you kind of hear like a bat wing flap, and that's when, and you see a shadow off to the side. And Trish starts like looking around, and we get a cool like pullback crane shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ominous shot.
Ominous implications.
And, exactly. And what comes next is where, to me, the movie picks up. So like you got a lot of tension building, and then where we're about to go, the movie picks up steam and starts rocking and rolling.
Well, Derry and Trish are now headed to the House of Pain. The police are following behind. The police get radioed that the church is on fire. Maybe these kids are pyros. Meanwhile, a modern version of Jeepers Creepers comes on the radio where the siblings are driving. And Justin Long's like, oh, fuck, this is a song.
Yeah. Listen, this is the words. So the words are the same as the lady. It didn't sound like the one she was playing, but like, this is
I also
it.
like that they're arguing with this song on fucking full blast.
Full volume all the way up.
Like a shouting match.
We get the shots of the cop car behind him visually through the front of the car, just like when we saw the creeper sneak up on him before.
Shot.
Which is great for what happens next when the creeper falls from the sky standing on top of the cop car.
Oh, so good.
Just fucking stands there and just riding the car, man. He's probably like, I love doing this shit.
Fuck. Oh, yeah, dude.
Do you think we can't see it? It's blurry, but do you think his flaps are flapping in the wind like a dog?
I think when he landed on top of that cop car, he pulled off a pair of glasses, like some shades.
for
He
sure.
was just like, he's like
CSI Miami shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm so totally sweet, is what he thought.
Nailed it.
So there's a little IMDb behind the scenes. That church was a real abandoned church, and it was a tourist attraction. But in a life imitates art moment, it mysteriously burned down.
Whoa.
During
So
production?
you cannot visit anyway.
Damn it.
No. So now they're like, the cop goes, hold on 1 second, the sky is falling, into his radio because they heard the thump. And the female cop sticks her head out, boom, sucked off screen.
And like she's like gone. Like we don't even see a body of her anymore. Like it looks like he just took her and hucked her right clean off the car.
Totally. Threw her into a field never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Right. No good parts. She could be alive.
That's actually a really good point.
She might be,
Just very badly hurt.
I think that's the most fucked up thing about like the creeper is that like he can get to you, but it's completely like indiscreet. Well, I mean, he's obviously once he smells you out, he knows he wants something. But it's like you could be attacked by him and like survive easily.
Right.
Well, Sam would be fine. He couldn't see Sam. He's a big boy that doesn't get scared.
Oh, that's
true.
That's
true.
true.
He would never catch my scent.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like you have the predator cloak to his fucking scent.
Exactly.
You have
if he has
mud.
predator vision, you have mud on you. Yeah. I like it.
You're like Arnold, dude.
You're like Arnold.
No.
Always have been.
We've always said this.
Yeah.
That would something we say all the time.
Schwarzenegger of
Guys, I've been
the
saying
pod.
this forever. You never wanted to listen to me.
I am old.
I'm glad we finally got there. Also, during this, with him standing on the back and stuff, the audience sees it when we go back to the shots of Trish and Derry, and it's just very cool looking.
It's amazing.
Creeper punches through the roof, grabs male cop by the head, pulls his head up, and we get like a shot of an axe being held up and
battle axe.
cut. Yeah,
Dude,
Like a medieval battle axe where you're like,
comes
that's probably
bad.
Original. He's probably had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't
He probably
see the
smelt
decapitation.
Smelted that axe.
Yeah.
Whoever smelted it.
That's
melted
definitely
it.
a forged just for him, that one. So we see it swing down. We don't see the head get cut off, but we see it happen. And from inside the siblings' car, we see the cop's head bounce off the hood of their car. Both vehicles spin out at this point. They're getting out of control before coming to a stop. The siblings get out and look to the cop car. Derry finds blood on the roof of their car as Trish slowly approaches the cop car. He tells Trish they need to go, just as she sees the severed head on the ground in front of the cop car, and the creeper opens the door, because apparently he climbed in there.
I find it very awesome, too, because it's like one of the first creature features that, like, the creature drives.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the only one that I could possibly think of that randomly was like Men in Black, where like the creature is able to just drive around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I think that added to the what the fuck aspect when the creature feature thing starts kind of like slowly emerging.
Yeah, because this thing has a knowledge of human mechanics, weaponry. It's deep-seated in humanity to a degree, but this thing is not. And yeah, we're gonna see it. It's not human.
Well, think of what's gonna happen. Like the time jumps, and they imagine you know how technology expands and exponentially like grows. The quicker it's
every
going
23 years.
Yeah, he's gonna eventually come into something and yes, cars kind of stayed dissimilar, I guess, for him between a couple sleep cycles or whatever he is doing. I mean, not being in our fun Gary world, but in the world of whatever they're presenting here. Coming back to what next when he gets in a fucking car and there's no. It's like touch screen or something. It's like a future car and it's like self-driving shit.
But what happens if he eats a brain? Does he regain the knowledge of that person as well? So does he keep up with the times and just has to eat a brain? That's the first thing you gotta find.
Yeah, maybe.
That's okay. Good. That's a good
See
point.
What's going on?
That could do it. That allows him to just download the information real quick.
Yeah, that's it's a gooey version of the Matrix. He just eats this fucking person's brain and then just uploads everything that's fucking in that dude's head.
He's got a great cheat code going on.
Okay. That solves my issue.
Yeah, it's loose. I mean, my suspenders of disbelief are in shreds, but I mean, they're still on there.
Anything else? So
yeah.
I think.
Trish and Derry hide in their car while the creeper approaches the severed head with a jaunty stride, whistling the tune of Jeepers Creepers. Again, he's funny. He's the showman. He's like, ba-da-da, get in my head, ba-da-da-do. Except whistling Jeepers Creepers.
He's like, I'm going to have fun doing what I do, and no one's ever been able to stop me before. Like, it doesn't care about that. And he's like,
strolling along without a care in the world.
It always works.
I smell your fear. I'm gonna eat your eyes.
As he's standing in front of a fucking billboard for meat that says "Tastes so darn good."
Tastes so darn good. As he holds that severed head up, is just like,
yeah, absolutely. The silhouette of him with it in the background. Yeah. Well, he smells it, smooches it, sucks the tongue out of it.
Smell it, smooch it, and suck the tongue out of it.
That was the other tagline.
Yeah.
I like that one.
That's dope.
This apparently was too much for Derry and Trish, and they finally take off.
Yeah.
Because he like sucks that tongue. We see it like it seems like it stretches out a good 3 feet or something before
it's a good cheese pull
off.
And Trish is like,
oh yeah.
Or one of them is like,
stick.
Let's go the whole time. Like, fucking hey, dude, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's Derry because Trish is like, oh. We get a nice tension breaking moment here when, so I like this when they take off and we get from inside the van back doors open, the creeper throws in a couple bodies and the door's shut. And then the doors open again, and he just like tosses the head in, and the doors close again.
Yeah,
that one's great. Yeah,
nice little moment there. Derry and Trish speed off. Derry's begging her to slow down. She finally just slams on the brakes. He's like, "I said slow down, not stop." Yeah. And she's like, "Well, hey, look, we're in front of a house. We need a phone. The next phone's far away. Let's go here and ask."
Oh, go far away.
This is Ricky's house. Ricky has all kinds of cats when he's older.
Yeah, all these old cat ladies are just old metalheads.
Yeah. True that.
The house is creepy with a creepy scarecrow and a cat lady. The lady said she doesn't have a phone and she doesn't want cops around because they will tell her she has too many cats.
I like the fact she goes, someone died. And she's like, oh my God, I thought you were talking about my cats.
She knows her rights and she cares about her cats.
The lady agrees to call the cops if the cops don't come there. Yeah, she's like, don't give them my address. Meet them at the highway. Suddenly, the power goes out. The cats start acting sus, and we see the creeper standing in front of the scarecrow.
Yeah, dude. Mm-hmm.
He playing.
Great shot. In
this scene with the cat lady, all her cats look through the screens on the windows because tuna had been smeared on them.
Oh my God.
Behind the scene tuna screen.
It's a hot day in Florida, just smearing tuna on a front porch.
So we got a
tuna was one of the other cats.
Tuna screen, a corpse pipe, and a meat
trails of another cat. 10 points, Brian. 10 points.
That's amazing.
The cat lady comes out with a shotgun, shoots the creeper. He seems to fucking explode and fly off like up and behind the house and come inside, and cats come pouring out as the lady goes in, and shots are fired.
So many fucking cats.
So many cats.
Now the house
a parade of feline.
Here's an IMDb behind the scene. The house where the cat lady lived was the home of an actual cat lady. Although the film's felines were provided by the animal trainer, Victor Salva had planned for a more extensive sequence inside the house, but budget cuts forced him to trim the scene.
I think that was actually a good thing because I like the way it plays out.
Yeah. I like the fact that he didn't have a chance to exploit a fucking cat lady. He's like, oh, you got a whole lot of cats? Can I film in your house for a while?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know what kind of production value you have there? All right. Then the lady comes down the hallway, but she has been impaled and is being carried by the creeper behind her. It's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool scene. Yeah, I like the shot where you see the footsteps, like her feet are hovering and his feet are right behind her walking. Very cool shot.
As it happened, I was like, oh, this I remember. The creeper originally had one line of another behind the scene. We got a lot around the cat lady. The creeper originally had one line of dialogue in the film. After he kills the old cat lady and holds her body up, upright, revealing his true face to Derry and Trish. He originally said, "She don't smell too good, Darius," before tossing her corpse aside. This line was cut and replaced with silence, as the producers thought it would be more effective for him to never say anything. Still, you can see the creeper's lips move in the scene if you look closely.
Oh, that's hilarious. I guess that's also to tie in the fact that he just ate a tongue so he can talk again.
What do y'all think about the
I like that.
Yeah.
What's creepier, the fact that he would say something or nothing?
I think nothing. Like him.
Nothing's always creepier, in my
It
opinion.
depends. Nothing, probably, but if they did something just right with the voice, that's the hard thing. Like making the voice sound good enough
Yeah.
is you're not going to hit it most times, because however you just said sounds real kind of. I wouldn't.
That's what he did.
I
Just hokey.
said it with a southern accent because I know the actor has one.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what he did. Yeah, he was like, "She don't smell too good, Darius."
That would have thrown me off. I would have laughed at him and the way they
Totally.
didn't want me to. I'm
do.
sure.
Right.
I think I'd like it when creatures, especially creatures that try to pose as human beings, like have that inability to like talk. Like it's more of like the humanistic aspects are more of a facade to kind of quote unquote blend in. I like the fact that they can't talk or can't like articulate themselves. I think it makes it to me it makes it creepier just because like
It makes them more alien,
Yeah.
like foreign, human but not human type of
yeah.
thing. One of the things I ended up cutting it, but one of the IMDb behind the scenes was that the actor did do real like grunting or aggressive sounds that we hear him make in sort of a low pitch thing, and then they tweaked hyena sounds and layered that into him saying to give it its sound.
Hyenas.
Let's get a little hyena in there.
They back out of the driveway but are stuck in reverse, and the creeper lands on the hood. They speed backwards, and the creeper does a totally sweet backflip off the hood and lands in the street.
Hell yeah.
That shit is hilarious.
Yeah.
Derry tells Trish to hit him with the car, but the creeper does a totally sweet run across the car. She throws it into reverse, and it happens again.
Twice he does it. Yeah.
Yeah. In the 2017 cast commentary, Justin Long discussed a stunt that went wrong. To save money, Justin was in the car rather than the stuntman, and with a stunt woman playing Trish, who is driving. This stunt person hit the creeper with the car. However, the speedometer was broken, and because the speedometer was broken, she ended up going too fast, and the creeper stuntman was badly hurt in the collision, and Justin was showered with broken glass.
Holy
Oh
shit.
no.
Listen to this fucking line here. Victor Salva considered quitting filmmaking altogether after this accident, but was reassured when he visited the stuntman in the hospital.
No.
Oh, good.
No.
Good. I'm glad.
No.
This is what did it.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Yeah. All right, moving on. They trick the creeper into thinking the car is stuck in reverse. He charges, and they hit him with the car. Success. He shoots into the sky like a goddamn rocket. And I love this. We see some weapons fall from him first
Oh,
and
the
like bounce
dagger?
off the hood. Yeah. Before he like bounces off the back of the car and smacks into the street.
Then they do the fucking best thing.
I love this fucking line. Yeah. Where Derry goes, "Do you think he's dead?" And Trish says, "They never are."
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
It's very meta and it's very dope. Like it's because earlier in the film,
At the corpse pipe.
the corpse pipe scene, when Dara's climbing in, she says, "You know how everyone makes bad decisions in horror movies and everyone hates them for it? This is you right now." And it's like, yeah, it's got a little bit of meta going on in there. And
It's in that post-Scream world where you kind of have to address that horror movies exist in your reality.
I like that. I think this movie does it in like a good way.
I agree, because it's not heavy-handed. It's just a couple lines here and there. They just exist.
Yeah.
So Trish backs over him, runs over him, backs over him again, goes to drive over him again. Derry's like, "Wait a second." And we look at him on the ground, and he's all jacked up, hands, arms flattened, legs detached.
But it's
And
all
a
like
single giant
weird, dry,
batwing
sinewy
emerges.
too. which is like
it's like
all
powdery,
dusty.
yeah, dusty.
Yeah, like Mummy Jason dusty.
Yeah.
Single giant bat wing emerges from one side and desperately tries to flap away before giving up. They speed off and run over him one more time for good measure.
Now, does he have to eat a bat to get the bat wings back? Like, if they get fucking shredded, like, it's not like there's another like winged human being on the planet.
That's a great question.
Well, what does he have to eat that gives him his?
You don't want to know.
Face mandibles.
The mandible face. Yeah. Oh, you don't want to know.
I do want to know.
I don't. It's I don't know.
A lot of caterpillars for some reason. I don't know why.
Just like
I think. Yeah, I don't know.
About 60, 70 caterpillars.
Yeah, he's just like
that makes sense.
And he's like, God, I hate this.
Now we're at a police station. A car thief is taken in, and it sort of follows him to lead us to Trish, who's on the phone with her mom. And while she's on the phone with her mom, Derry is looking at a missing person bulletin board. I just happened to pause it while it was up, and it's got all sorts of funny little...
Butcher, baker, candlestick maker. Yeah, like...
It goes on, too.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Eagle Cloud... Did you see Eagle Cloud Mid-Thunder?
No.
No, is that one of his names? Like
no,
aliases?
That's one of the other missing persons.
Oh, it's so good. There's so many lines in this shit. If you pause it,
he's missing. Well,
Thrifty Sam, the salsa man.
Yeah, Eagle Cloud Mid Thunder is missing from Dusty Beaver, Utah. Last seen running, screaming from Lady Lake. Age now unknown. Eagle has always been a boy who took candy from strangers. It is feared that this naive approach to life has finally turned around and bitten our young hero. So as the sun sets in the east, we bid a fond farewell to Eagle and his amazing Wunderhunt.
Wunderhunt is Wunderhunt.
That's awesome. So
and I know you have one too, Sam.
Yeah, Tim Sullivan, who is the producer for Detroit Rock City, friends with the art department on this movie. His aliases are Dom Dom DeLuise, Viso Volpacella, Big Dom, I can't make it out, Hans von Joypipe, and Thrifty Sam the Salsa Man. Joypipe. He was born in 1902. His hair is Dusty Beaver. His race is Cornish. His build is fair to Midland. His occupation is butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, a true drac of all trades, and a real bargain for half the price.
What the fuck?
His scars and marks are an oblong-shaped birthmark in the shape of a large okra, lightly seasoned and fried to perfection.
Man, God they don't.
And I gotta zoom in on this next bit to read it. Should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. Be sure to bring cookies. And then the last thing is caution. The suspect is being sought in connection with the murder of a Poho sheriff and a brilliant and promising young Art. And then it's cut off. I don't know what it says beyond that.
That's it. A promising young Art. Art the Clown?
Look at that Art the Clown.
This is what we find out in Terrifier 3.
Yes. It's got Jeepers Creepers ties, homie.
So there's a fun little thing that happens here.
We like to have fun here.
Glad we took that side track path. A woman comes in the police station and she knows who Derry and Trish are. The cop is all, "Don't let this psychic bother you."
I love Jez. I love her.
It's kind of fucked though, because like that's the pinnacle point where you're like, hey, I'm seeing you do this. You need to just go now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I think
it makes no sense.
Well, leading them upstairs and out, like, I feel like her actions directly caused the visions that she saw. You know what I mean? Instead of like, her whole purpose was to try to like avoid that from happening, which could have just been like, hey, you need to get the fuck out of this police station, like right now.
She shows up, and this whole movie, the creeper has been a mystery to us. This woman shows up, and again, I love her character. I think she does a good job, like being outrageous. Yeah, and I'm saying outrageous in the best way. But she shows up as a exposition dump. She is just telling them all about the creeper. 23 fucking years, 23 days. He only eats what he like wants to eat out of somebody. Like she's just giving them everything.
It eats lungs to breathe, eyes to see.
Yeah.
Whatever it eats becomes part of it. Yeah.
She
lays it all out.
She's like a physical expedition dump. I said it for Ricky. I said it for him. Exposition dump. That's what she's doing.
Absolutely. So the truck pulls up to the police station, and the creeper stumbles towards the building, kind of hobbles over, all funny.
That was.
I like how he hobbles over and his legs all fucked up. But when he gets out the truck, just like Ross said a minute ago, where it's like all dirty and ashy.
Yes.
Like you see like dust and shit fall before his wounded leg hits the ground. Like he's a mummy. Like he's all old.
I first time watching it, I remember wincing at the scene where he gets out of the truck and then his fucking stump just hits the ground. I was like, oh God, why that? Like, I don't know why that fucked me up.
You hear the squishing. It's so squishy. It sounds and looks fucked up. It looks painful. It sounds painful.
So it drives down. Oh, this is where we learn she's more expedition dump. It drives down the highway and scares people so it can smell their fear and decide if it wants to, if there's any part of them it wants to eat. Which is so silly. The power goes out in the police station. A cop does a check on all the inmates because it's blackout.
Show me some skin.
The last cell he checks has some scared dudes in it because the creeper is in the next cell, full beast mode, fully Nako, eating pieces that it needs to heal off the inmate.
He's like the opposite of E.T.
Some arm.
I like the look. I mean, I like the look of the full Monty Jeepers Creepers because he looks like a fucking gargoyle. Like it's something weird about him in like the Texan troubadour fucking like the hat and the fucking the jacket and stuff never did it for me. Because I was like, I just see his face and it's like, I don't know, because before you know that it like opens up and shit. It's just, I didn't like the creature design for like his head, but then with the rest of his body, it made more sense to me, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Where it was like, okay, this is like a weird, like I would see this outside of like a cathedral somewhere, as in like this looks like a fucking gargoyle-y looking demonic kind of thing. You know what I mean?
See, I like the square jowls when he's in the Western suit. I like how and when he's on the cat lady porch, he smiles and you see those sharp teeth. I like that. But this, I agree, the 4-bore gargoyle look. But to me, he's like the opposite of E.T., where E.T.'s walking around eating the Reese's Pieces and trying to phone home. And this boy is just going into the fucking prison and eating people so he can get whole. And that's his home, is his whole body. Is like, I need to fucking just chat. And that scene, that little part where he, from behind the creeper, his head rears up. Yeah, that gooking is gross.
He's swallowing.
Oh, man.
Because you can tell he's not chewing it. He's literally just eating an entire foot.
Oh, it's so nasty. It's
but you don't see it, which is, I think, even more of like a payoff. Where you're not a payoff, but like, I don't know, the creepy factor of the character.
It's better. Like,
you can tell by just audibly, just like, ugh.
He's gulping it down. Oof.
Like Homer eating an eclair. Right? The cops are attempting to take the psychic out of the building while she tells Derry and Trish the creeper will kill one of them. She hears one of them screaming in the dark. Or she did in her dreams, you know.
I thought of Brian.
And suddenly there's... Oh?
Well, because...
Does he scream in the dark?
Yeah, and I was like, die in the dark.
Oh, we all die in the dark, yeah.
There you go.
Suddenly there's a distress call from downstairs. Every fucking cop in the building goes running. And the psychic tells Derry and Trish, this is our time to escape. All the cops go running, but they get to the top of the stairs and just fucking stop and hold their position. Nobody's going anywhere.
I like the back and forth on the radio where the guy's like, tell me what's going on down there. And he's like, this guy, Chief, he's a real shaker and a mover. Like we lost him in the stairwell.
Yeah,
it's like
he's wearing armor. It's the weirdest fucking body armor I've ever seen.
Yeah. He's like, you would think I'm crazy if I tell you what he really looks like, and that's the part that's like creep factor. Like the guy wants to tell him, like, he's a gargoyle.
It's a
but
demon.
I can't say that because you'll think I'm nuts. But he's wearing body armor. But this like he's crawling up the walls, Chief. He's coming
Chief,
right up to y'all.
This fucking cosplayer's killing everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a bald cop in this scene. I don't know if you remember, but he's kind of featured, just looking around. Anyway, that's Jonathan Breck, who plays the Creeper in the movie.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Him not in Creeper makeup.
Oh, nice.
I like that.
So the cop tells him, all the stuff we just talked about. Suddenly the Creeper disappears and they're radioed, hey, he's headed your way. They're looking around when the creature swings upside down, like bat style, into a cop. We don't really see what he does to him, but when he disappears, left a big hole in his chest, presumably took his heart
out.
and the other side of it, punched it straight through, and then pulled it back through because there's a big old hole there. We can see
The
right
silhouette
through.
hole is great.
It's
I
a
thought
great
that was
shot.
a great shot.
Here's a
With
nitpick
a
of mine.
flashlight.
Here's a nitpick, though. You have a police station full of cops with guns drawn, and no one opened fire on this motherfucker when he was leaning upside down. Why?
It's a monster.
Monster,
You weren't
bro.
expecting a monster.
But I'm just saying, though, because
You think cops are trigger happy, T-Boo?
yes, I do. And also, I'm going to say they were for a good 30, 45 seconds. He was chowing down on this guy's midsection. They could have fucking shot the shit out of this thing.
We'll let him up.
Lit him up. Nitpick. It's not going to take
totally.
away from...
Well, instead,
like, yeah.
the Creeper flies up and the cops shoot it the ceiling Predator style.
Bra, 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 bra. I
And
do like
then-
it ties into dialogue where the psychic was like, it's eaten so many hearts, I don't know it at this point if it
Right.
can die. And I like
really
the fact
cool.
that this thing got lit up with so many bullets that it's like replenishing its HP by just eating a heart.
Yes. Very
That's
dope.
fun. They end up trapped inside because certain exits are locked after a power outage, which makes no fucking
No.
sense at all. There's no way
No.
doors would lock because of a power
Right.
outage. Derry asks the psychic if her dreams are ever wrong, and when the Creeper appears and Derry and Trish take off, it seems like the psychic is going to sacrifice herself to him or something, but he leaves her be. Doesn't like her smell.
Yeah, I like how she's like, you don't understand. And he's like, no, tell me, are your dreams ever wrong? She's like, you don't understand. I don't know what's about to happen to me. And she starts saying a prayer, and you do see this dope shot of the Creeper walking on the wall. And I don't know how they did the shot, but it's really cool because the Creeper's just crawling along the wall, looking like a spider. And then, he sniffs her. He jumps down behind the psychic and sniffs her neck. And then he's like, nah, I don't want none of this.
Nah.
No.
You have nothing for me. So Derry and Trish find themselves in an interrogation room. While Derry tries the windows, the Creeper creeps on Trish on the other side of the two-way mirror.
Awesome
Being
scene.
Super creepy.
Awesome scene.
I did. Yeah. It's gross.
It's gross. Yeah.
Derry starts pulling on Trish. We see this from like the Creeper side and trying to get her out of the room. They seem to be arguing, but we don't hear it because it's inside the room. So now it cuts into the room and they're still pulling on each other and arguing, and we still don't hear anything. Derry even like waves his finger in her face.
Yeah.
It's so jarring
It
and
is
bad.
weird. Yeah.
It's terrible.
That both times I watched it, I took it back to be like, what's going on
why
here?
Why are they not speaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's especially like waving the finger in the face. It's like they clearly forgot to put the audio in there. Something. The Creeper jumps through the door and corners them. He grabs them both and sniffs them up. Sniffs them down, sniffs them all around. Takes them to Sniff Town.
Why is he sniffing them so much?
Is it deciding
know.
on which one he
He's-
wants?
yeah,
I guess it's
yeah,
supposed to
I
build
think
tension.
maybe because they're brother
deciding.
and sister, he's not sure which one's which.
Right. He's deciding which of the thing he wants more. Yeah.
It's not till he licks Trish that he realizes she's
Bad
wrong.
taste.
He like licks her face and he's like, nope, tosses her to the side.
It's so gross.
Okay.
Cops burst in with big guns and bulletproof vests. Creeper does a cool face thing before flying off with Derry into the night. And if you were playing What is Ross's background tonight, his background is the cool face thing at this part.
That's the extended mandibles off the head and the membranes exposed.
Having that weird,
whoa.
predatory, extra mandibles was kind of cool. It didn't necessarily justify why his face was ribbed for everybody's pleasure. But I don't know. Besides having seen it, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Looks like he's got a face hugger stuck on the back of his head.
Yes.
Right. And I do like this scene though, because Trisha is pleading with the creeper, like, take me, I'm stronger. I have the same things inside of me. I won't resist you. Let him go. And Derry is scared, but to his credit,
don't be a hero.
He's like, don't be a hero. And the creeper does take a moment to contemplate her offer. You see him sit there, look like thinking about it, and then he flies off like a goddamn bat out of hell, Meatloaf style.
Mm-hmm. Now, this was one of the longest scenes to film because the mechanisms that controlled the animatronic finger face were out of control.
Oh shit!
Just violently flapping everywhere.
I want to say that
Justin Long had to keep screaming. They had to keep screaming over and over and over again. It was just a long day.
That face of the creeper too is a horrifying 10. That's fucked up. If I saw that,
and when the creeper has his contacts in, when we see him fully in his eyes, the actor's completely blind. He can't see with those things.
Can't see shit.
He's got Evil Dead eyes.
All right, it's the next day. Trisha's sitting at the police station, looking worn. Looking rough. Probably sad, too. Psychic tells her, hey, your parents are here. Trish asks the woman about her dreams. She's like, I'm just a crazy old woman. Kind of repeats it over and over.
What an asshole. You do all this shit, you go all the way up there, and you're like, no. And it's like, he's gone.
Forget it.
Just fucking answer the lady.
Hold on, though. The whole time, though, Ross, to be fair, the entire time that lady was there trying to warn them, Trisha was a bitch to her. She kept telling her she was crazy. She don't know shit.
Yeah.
The whole time she was actually pretty mean to her.
So you think it was more of like a revenge thing? Where it's like, I don't know what the fuck
I'm
happened
just
to
a
him,
crazy old lady.
I'm a crazy old bitch.
That's right. Spiteful. I'm just a crazy old lady.
It didn't seem that way to me, but
that's the way I'm taking it.
Fair. The camera follows a crow from the police station to an abandoned factory where there's a bunch more crows, which we know we saw earlier. Camera moves through the factory and we hear Derry scream in the distance. We find a room playing Jeepers Creepers. The creeper sits at a workbench and approaches several decorative corpses. He approaches Justin Long, whose eyes and everything behind the eyes have been removed because we see straight through his head. The creeper pops up behind an eye hole, and we see he now has Derry's eyes.
I like that I like that panning shot from his belly button tattoo.
Yeah.
All the way up to fucking hole in the eye. Eyes.
And I love that the song is being played on, like how the psychic lady said, like an old phonograph player. Like, this boy has time to go out and get a record and a fucking old record player.
Well, these are probably his. He's probably had these from his first.
His church burned down, so he ain't got nothing.
Why did he burn his church down?
I think it's to cover his tracks.
Yeah.
As in, like,
what does he fucking care?
Well, he don't want.
Well, because I think he can't get hurt. I think he can't.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't want to be that obvious
or captured.
At that point.
Right. And imagine if they get hold of him and then now he's suddenly in chains and shackles. He's pretty fucked. He's not.
He goes to a police station full of cops.
To get some eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
true.
think well, he also gets his hand and his leg back, and I think he can take the cops out. But if there's enough people with enough weaponry, he's probably kind of fucked.
This doesn't seem like necessary. Think of all those years of putting bodies up.
Just look at that, all that wasted work.
I have two more IMDb behind the scenes. One, in this last scene, that is Justin Long as the creeper, not Jonathan Breck.
Oh nice.
I would assume because it's the eyes thing. Yep. And then the makeup crew the makeup crew cast Justin Long's entire body from head to toe for the amazing lifelike dairy cadaver at the end. It was so anatomically correct that someone tied a trash bag around its waist in the interest of modesty.
Oh, so they cast his ding dong too?
Suppose so.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder how that
plays a lot
conversation
different.
went.
Also now, yeah,
we're
thinking
so
just
glad you're in
about
this movie. I need to
everything
cast
we've
your penis.
discussed.
Wow. That's fucked.
All right, time for the crematorium of questions. Question 1. How would we survive? And do we need to sacrifice any gentlemen to survive?
Well, Sam, you're already immune because you're a big, brave boy.
That's white.
I think it's honestly, this is a weird one. I would just say roll of the dice. Because if the creeper, if Jeeper Creeper wants you, he's gonna get you. But if he doesn't want any of us, then
Yeah, it depends if any of our parts are viable
yeah.
options.
Dude, what do you think your most viable?
Well, we know he hasn't had a dick yet. Maybe he's just been waiting for Brian to swing through.
Saw that coming. Yeah, I mean, he could be. What happens if he eats like multiple dicks?
Oh,
Do you think they keep coming?
Does it,
Or do you think like it just like keeps adding
absorbs
to the
into
same?
itself, or he has 2 now?
Yeah, do you
Or
think
does
there's
he
like
have,
multiples that pop up, or is it just like keep elongating?
no, it's like the mandibles on his face, but just penises underneath.
Oh.
Probably just changes to whatever the newest one was.
That makes sense.
Because if he had a lady part, it'd just change to a lady
flop
part,
off.
right? He want to just have a...
No, what if you had like a really good one you liked, but then accidentally ate a little bit of other dick, and then you got stuck with some dumb dick?
Some dumb dick.
Yeah.
Crocodile's dumb dick.
Dumb fucking dick.
I think the best way to survive this is to just drive past the church and don't fucking go back to the corpse pipe.
Yeah, surviving
Easily.
it,
You
minding
don't go
your
down
own
the
business.
corpse pipe. Like
Mind
even if
your
like
fucking
you,
business.
yeah, don't go in the corpse
But it
pipe.
could have been, they could have been whiffed, just by watching,
Don't be looking.
Don't be
Don't
looking.
be
Mind your own business.
Yeah.
your own fucking business. That's all it is.
Yeah, I guess that's the whole moral message behind this movie.
Ugh. Of course,
Privacy.
that's the message he made.
America.
Mind your
Privacy.
business.
Mind your own
Exactly.
business.
Mind your
Fucking-
business.
Oh, gross.
Oh no, not with him.
That was
See?
the
Not
point.
that
Yeah, I got
guy.
it.
No,
Now
no,
you get it.
Mind
Not
your
for me.
business. That's
Not
what
my-
he's
not
trying
my
to say
point.
with this.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what
what
he's
I'm
saying.
saying. That's what he could say, but that's not what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying.
All right.
No.
On that note, how do you make the film gooier?
I think if you actually
a lot
showed
of
him
gore.
eating the
Just
body
show a little
parts,
bit. Yeah.
like
The actual
Yeah,
murder
exactly.
that kills a
Yeah.
little bit more. Mm-hmm.
With the exception of like a severed head being around and I guess the hole through the chest, there's like 3 sort of memorable things. Really just the hole in, really the only really memorable thing I think is Justin Long at the
Yeah.
end
Yeah.
for the goo. Villain level 1 through 10. All right. The creeper, the jeeper, hungry eyes himself.
I'd probably say for power level for me would be like a 4. Because he's not a god. Like, he can get stopped, but, like, he can... he's gotten to the point where, like, he could be eviscerated as long as he can still consume something. He can still be alive. And from the looks of it, he's been around for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Iconography for me is... God, it's kind of low. I mean, honestly, man, like, I give him... maybe, like, a 2.5? I don't like the Western gunslinger look to his character when he's trying to act like a human. I like the gargoyle-y demon look, and the mandible face is pretty cool, but like for the majority of the movie, you just see him as like this like wow 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 kind of like dude running around, which is just not my flavor of ice cream. But
Fair.
yeah, so what is it, 6.5?
So 7? No, yeah, 6.5. Yeah, 2.5 and 4,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6.5 out of 10 for the creeper. T-Boo, what do you think?
As far as power level goes, I will give him a 4 because, like Ross said, he's not godly, but good luck finding a way to kill him. He can regenerate endlessly. He's been around for a long time. Like Ross said, iconography, I'm gonna give him a little bit more than that based on the horror community itself. Very popular, often posted. It's everywhere. Everyone knows the creeper. I would give that a 5. So
I would still say he's like a lower tier in horror. You know what I mean? He's like maybe B. I mean, certainly not A tier. I don't think.
I wouldn't put him A tier, but I'm saying like I see it all the time. Creepers.
That's true.
It's a lot of people post about it. So, and it's just me looking at stuff. I'm gonna give it a 5. So a 9 for a horror
9.
villain. Yeah, 9. This is not saying it's reflective of me. I'm just using my observational
Using
skills.
the scale, yep.
Yeah.
And observational skills and the scale, I would give him a 9. I don't look at him that way. I'd give him, for me, more of like a what feels good, a 7. He's a 7. If that counts.
Yeah.
It always counts. Too.
7.
Your heart, for
That
sure.
works. I'd give him a 4 and a 3, probably. 4 for power, 3 for iconography.
Mm-hmm.
7.
I'm basically there. I'm 3.5 for power and 3 for iconography. The only reason why my power is a little lower is he just seems regional. It seems like you just get out of the area.
Yeah.
Every
And
23 years.
Survive
Right,
that shit.
exactly. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's powerful, but I'm not like too worried about escaping him, I guess.
No, that makes sense.
Unless he wafts you.
Which he would never.
Never.
Should it have a sequel? What is your sequel?
Oh.
My sequel is Gary's Scarecrow, and it's what he does in the 23 years where he is not.
He's a lawyer. An agricultural
creeper.
lawyer.
Agricultural
for
lawyer.
23 years.
That's what I want,
It's
too.
a really dry comedy about agricultural law.
I would actually love to see like a prequel, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know, fucking like
You could
a
set it at
medieval
any
movie.
time. You could make this. Yeah, exactly.
That's where I was going to. Same
give it
thing.
the Predator treatment.
Yeah, almost like like Army of Darkness level of just like still keep the humor, but have it set in some, I don't know, and then have him like shipped off to America. Like he's like somewhere in Europe, and then their solution is during his hibernation just to ship him off into the middle of the wilderness somewhere where he can never hurt anybody, and it's North America.
And he's the reason in the comic books for Roanoke Island disappearing.
Oh shit!
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yep. That in the comics, that's how he goes.
Because he got really fucked up, so he needed to eat a lot of people.
he had to eat the whole goddamn colony.
Oh, yeah.
They just kept on setting him on fire.
Would you buy the soundtrack or score on vinyl?
I don't remember it, so probably
Doesn't
not.
stand
or
out
just
to
the
me at all.
single
Yeah,
Jeepers
exactly.
Creepers.
No.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Same. I'll pass. Is anything action figure worthy?
Yes.
T-Boo had one.
I had one. It's definitely action figure worthy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I don't
think
necessarily
it's cool
like. I
design.
don't particularly like the look, but I mean, like the creep as an action figure would be awesome.
You'd want the goblin version.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gargoyle version.
Like perched, like it has like clips on its feet, so you can perch it on like your computer screen or like things like that, where it's just kind of like hanging out.
And you press a button on the back and it goes go go go.
What merch / prop / promo item would you want from the film?
The table. I would want the carved table and the battle axe.
Oh yeah, battle axe would be good.
I want the
Truck
truck.
would be good.
The truck.
I want the
yeah,
truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make some money off that.
Yeah,
I want
dude.
Justin long skin suit.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
The anatomically
Once you
correct
heard
skin
about
suit.
that.
With the
Bottom
anatomically
half.
correct one. Yeah.
That
You
one.
know that's in a prop warehouse somewhere. He's like, hey, do you guys want to see Justin Long's dick?
All right, it's like 20-something years
20
old
some
now,
years
so
old.
just use your imagination a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not cracked like this. And last, what is the fuckable popcorn bucket for this movie?
The creature's mandible face spread
Yeah,
open
right?
the way
Yeah,
that
with
fucking
his
Ross
mouth
has it
agape.
back there. Yeah.
Mine is Justin Long's head with the holes in the
Ooh,
eyes.
you went sadness. You went to skull fucking. Okay.
Skull
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
Justin Long,
for
baby.
sure.
I was gonna say either that
I'm
or
with
just
it.
the cop head, but just it's just a popcorn bucket flipped upside down.
Oh, the
Perfect.
mumbles
Yeah.
that he discovers first his open torso or something like
Oh
that.
my god, yes, a cadaver fucking
You could dig in there.
It's a popcorn bucket that's a corpse pipe into a meat cathedral.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, nice.
That's even more metal. Hell yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, that does it for our crematorium. Let's see our fingers and what they're doing.
I only want your fingers.
Should we all, cut our fingers open and bleed on it?
Can you wrap your fingers around this?
I'll take a Voorhees burger and a side of Jason's fingers.
Show them.
Yeah.
Time for our ratings. On this scale, we use a cutting our fingers off scale. 0 to 5 fingers. You can do quarter fingers now if you like. And let's just get to it. It's meant to be subjective. How we feel about a movie doesn't matter if it's good. Who cares, right? It's all about the ride, baby. Yeah. I would like to go ahead and throw it over to Brian.
Sure. Let's go ahead and give it a, 1 for engaging. I like this movie. I've always been engaged with it. I was engaged this time too. Just because it's been so long since I've revisited it, I paid attention and I wasn't. I don't know. It's an hour and a half. It's not that long of a movie. Sticky, I'll give it a 0.75 for Sticky. I mean, a lot of it, I did remember. I probably could have sat through this movie, covered it on here without revisiting it.
Yes.
Like when I watched it, nothing surprised me. Like I forgot that. I remembered a lot of
how much of it you remembered.
Yeah. And so for that reason alone, it's sitting there. T-shirtable, I'll probably give it a 0.5, to be honest. I think the creature design is cool. I think there's some cool stuff there, but beyond select things, like I don't need a Jeepers Creepers shirt. I'd have like a cool enough one, but I don't know why. It doesn't really stick to me for a good t-shirt. Cockles, I'm going to give it probably a 0.5 as well, just because this is like the heart thing. It's like I enjoy this movie for what it is, but because of the what's his name destroying everything, my heart feels like shitty about it. So I guess it's gonna get its score taken off there. I was trying to look at it in a lens of having that maybe not affected as much, but it feels so affected by it. It's got that ick. Exactly. Rewatchable, I'll probably give it I'll give it a 0.5 as well. I would have no problem rewatching this. I don't need to, again, probably because it's been played. I've seen it at this point. I don't need to go back into this world anytime soon, but I'm not necessarily opposed to it. And a 3.25 does sound good for me.
Great. Nice. Throw it over to Ross.
Oh. Yeah, a lot of this is going to be just mirroring what Brian said, but I think 1 definitely for engaging. I was engaged the entire time. Sticky is also going to get a 1 because it's an hour and a half movie, and I felt like every beat of this movie I have memorized, as in like it's not an overly complicated movie to understand or kind of get into. So once you've seen this thing once or twice, it's not very hard to recall. You know what I mean? It's not this complex web of plot. I mean, it's very straightforward.
No.
T-shirtable is probably going to get a 0.5 for me. I wouldn't actively get a Jeepers Creepers shirt, but like if the right one presented itself, like if he's hunched over on his workbench and the shirt is just the House of Pain, just the cathedral bodies. You know what I mean? Thank you. I was just trying to figure out how I could just have that drop one more time before the episode ended.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean that would be totally. Cockles,
definitely, that'd be a great show.
Man, I might even go lower with Cockles because it's like I'm not the biggest fan of the creeper design wise. I think there's some really great shit that happens in the movie, but then compounded with the fact of just the stuff around them, like I think it's going to get a 0.25 for me because it's like, I think under normal circumstances, it would be a 0.5, but just because of that, it loses a half, loses a 0.25 for me. rewatchable's going to be the same thing for me. Because it's like, man, I would definitely rewatch this. But then I realized I haven't actually revisited this movie in a fucking minute. And unless someone brings up the fact of like, hey, do you want to watch Jeepers Creepers? It may just be one of those movies I might revisit in like another 5 years. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, like the cycle of Jeepers Creepers, it may be another 23 years before I actually see this movie again.
That could be fun.
You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like I would just give that a 0.25 as well. So I think that gives it a 3.
Dope.
Yep.
3.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
I'm cool with 3. I cause like my phantom finger was between like between like a 3 and a 4. So like a 3.5, but I think with everything laid on the table, I'm cool with 3 until the rehashing.
Cool. T-Boo, engaging
for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 1. Kind of like what Brian said, I was on this rewatch, I was fully engaged with it, and I hadn't seen it in a long time, so I was paying attention to everything. Sticky, I would give that also a 1 because I remember everything about this movie from back in the gap, and like Brian, I grew up with this movie and enjoyed it back in the day. So I remembered everything, every plot beat, like from the church to the fucking diner to the cat lady house, running over the guy to the police station and the final moments, you know, like I remember it all. T-shirtable, half a point, half a finger. I'm not going to go out of my way to get a Jeepers Creepers shirt. It's not my favorite thing, but there is a lot of cool imagery that could be rendered from this movie. Just him holding that battle axe up alone is pretty cool. So that would be dope. Cockles, another half a point, and it's for the Victor Salva thing. It's not a movie that I'm like just championing, but if someone's like, hey, what's a cool creature feature, I would readily say Jeepers Creepers from back when I grew up watching horror movies, and this is one of those. You know, I'm a teenager. This movie fucking hit before I knew about this guy, so I would give it the half a point for that. And let's see, engaging, sticky, t-shirtable, cockles, rewatchable. 0.25. I would rewatch part 2 before this movie any day. I don't hate this movie by any stretch, but I also have not revisited it at all. Have I wanted to? A little bit, like here and there. I'm like, I think about Jeepers Creepers or it gets mentioned and I'm like, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I'd like to watch it again. This was a great reason to watch it again, was to talk about it with you guys. So I would give that a 2.5 if we can do quarter fingers now. So was that total?
3.25.
That feels good. Yeah. Yep.
Dope. Excellent. Perfect scale. Engaging. That's going to be a 0.75. There's just something about it where I'm not really totally paying attention. I'm like, what just happened? How did we get here? Sticky. I guess I'll be generous and give it a 0.25. I don't really see myself remembering jack about this, really. Didn't remember much from before. Only watched it once, though, 23 years ago. So there you go. T-shirtable, that's definitely a 0. I would never wear a shirt for this movie. You want to talk about a movie I would never buy a shirt for? Jeepers Creepers is one of those. And it's mostly the Victor Salva thing. I don't want to have to fucking talk to anybody about that. The visuals, there's some cool stuff, but I don't like it that much. Not enough to,
Not enough to have that conversation multiple times when wearing that shirt.
Yeah. Cockles, I think I'll be generous and give a 0.5 because I really like a lot of the road stuff. The driving sequences are really good, and I'm a fan of that. And rewatchable, just because I need to get this fucking score up right now, is getting a 0.25 because it could easily be another 23 years before I watch this. It's at a 1.75 right now. Which feels terrible. Or it feels like I really hate this movie, and I don't really hate this movie.
Well, that's why you got Phantom Fingers,
I like about it. Yeah, but not enough.
not enough to justify using
it. Yeah, maybe it'll get adjusted later, but I'm gonna leave it at 1.75 because we'll say the stuff I liked about it got it that high.
I like that score actually for this movie. More than mine. Serious. And it's, it sucks because this fucker ruined something that, like, the horror community does embrace it, and people do seem to like this character and this franchise. But this guy's ugliness as a person has bared a shadow across it that it's hard to get from underneath. And it does suck for people who, if you give them the benefit of the doubt, and I suppose we're just working on a movie, man. They're just working on a movie. They're not there to fucking be judged by this guy. This guy fucking ruined some shit. And he's a fucker. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. I think my being indifferent on the movie helped it easily. That all that background stuff made it go lower because it wasn't particularly high for me anyway. Whereas like Brian, I think it probably would have been a higher and better score because he did like it when he was younger.
Same for me. I think this would have came in at like a 4 out of 5 for me if it wouldn't have been for this fucking dude. It sucks.
Totally. Woohoo!
No,
Jeepers Creepers.
But on Chuddle the Pod, celebrating the horror and the fucking work that got put in, man. Woohoo! The imagery or the guy aside, the imagery in this movie is dope. I think the special effects were awesome, and the stunt people, they did a great job on this movie.
I think it's so silly, especially as running across the car and doing flips. In a weird way, it's so cartoonish, a lot of what the creeper does, that I kind of like it in an endearing way, but not the parts that Ross likes. I like his like human parts.
Yeah.
So you fell in love with the humanity of Jeepers Creepers.
I fell in love with Gary.
Gary Scarecrow for the win, baby.
Well, what does the club have to say on this one? I know our Discord actually had a lot to say here.
Yeah, they did. Weird had something. She said, I love this movie. Easily gets both hands. The story is new and different, and original thought is hard to come by, and this delivers. While it spawned 2 sequels, the first is the best. The jump scares are on point. The gore is at a perfect level. The creepiness factor of the lair is epic. I can pop in at any point and be totally engrossed and know exactly what's going on. There's so many t-shirts that I would wear. It's not funny. I absolutely adore this movie. Next, we have Trevor, the Witchmaster of Pleasure, says, grew up loving it. The concept is really fun and different. That being said, I rewatched it last year. While I still enjoyed it, it didn't hold up as much. 4 fingers in the grave for me. Boss Tuna popped in and said, Justin Long is bae. I've been championing for years. Have a great episode, boys. And then we had someone new, a new club member, just their name, Prisoner P01135809. I liked it. Plus, Justin Long is great, but it felt a little goofy, and the director being a creep makes it a 3 out of 5 for me. Cronenberg popped in as well. Big Jimmy Salva as a Jester Chester, and it's a good flick. 4 out of 5 for me. Great opening and some good kills and a dark as hell ending. One of the better horror films of the early 2000s. Evan, our witchy brethren. This is going to be a 4.5 belly buttons from me, babes. I remember it pretty well. Poor Justin Long dong. And oh boy, I didn't write his name down. It's Colby, and I wish I had his witch name written down. I'm gonna find it real quick while I vamp.
Colby Moldy Pudding Pie,
the monster witch that cannot die.
Yeah.
Says, after my revisit, I still think it holds up in a lot of ways. The scene where she smokes him with the car and keeps going forward in reverse is still fantastic. 3.5 out of 5 belly buttons for me. So that's what the club's all saying. They rate it a little bit higher than our average, which is a 2.7, which sits right in the same zone as Cocaine Bear and Caveat. That is above Malignant and Friday the 13th Part 2, right below Dashcam and Possession. And Willy's Wonderland. It's below Willy's Wonderland.
See, 2.7 is what I would have thought I would have come closer to.
Sure.
But again, it's not like I don't like the movie enough to grow a fandom figure to add to it either.
Right.
So it's just kind of sitting where it is. How about that does it for tonight, fellas? Thanks for joining me on this Jeepers Creepers journey. I know it was a weird one to do, but I'm glad you fellas shuttled it with me. Follow Chuddlepod where you follow things: Instagram, Slasher, Threads, Facebook, mostly Instagram and Threads these days. Stay up to date with podcasts there. You can follow Ross Purvis on Instagram if you want to see his dope artwork and tattoos. If you're in Central Florida, go and get some horror tattoos from the man, or any tattoos, but you know, if you're listening, you probably want some horror tattoos. Go get a tattoo from him. You can follow me, Chuddle the Sam, and Chuddle the Brian with a Y, on Letterboxd. If you have any interest in seeing what we're watching or what lists we're making, jump in our Discord, be part of the community. You can hear your thoughts read about shows. And speaking of jumping into Discords and being part of a community, well, that was a bad transition because I need to say you can find all that stuff in the show notes. But then speaking of Discord and being part of a community, check out the nightclub Discord while you're at it. T-Boo, thank you for coming on the show, my man. It's been too long since I had you here, and so it was a pleasure.
Oh, thank y'all for having me, man. Like every time, I love coming on Chuddle the Pod and chuddling my ass off. And it don't matter how fucking weird the movie is, I'll get weird with you motherfuckers every fucking time.
Yeah.
The Nightclub Podcast, all platforms. Follow them, listen, they're occasion cousins.
Do it.
Now, I hope everybody had a good time.
Hell yeah.
And until next time,
avoid the I was about to jump in with it.
Avoid the time loop, brother Pooh.